It's the country music you know, the country you love. Real Country 105.5 KD Country.
A short drive will save you money.
Buying a car at Feller Chevrolet has never been a hassle, but during our no-hassle sale, it's even easier. All new and used vehicles are priced and marked with rock-bottom prices on the lot and on the web. To make car shopping as easy as 1, 2, 3. 1. Come to Feller Chevrolet in Altavista or go to fellersdirect.com. 2. Pick the vehicle that fits your budget. 3. Drive it home today. No pressure, no hassle.
A short drive will save you money. Feller Chevrolet in Altavista.
Live from Altavista High School, it's time for Colonel basketball. The Altavista Colonels on 105.5 KD Country or kdcountry.com. And good evening, everybody, on a cold, blustery January evening. Colonel's going to try and heat up the hardwoods. I'm Kyle Haney with my tag team partner, Dave Haney. No, we're not brothers, but close enough anyway. And, Dave, it is cold outside. Nothing like a little good round ball action to heat things up.
Well, that's it. Of course, I suppose some folks will stay home on a cold night like this, but that's good for our radio listening audience or our internet listening audience, wherever they are. We appreciate you joining us tonight. It's good to be back in the gym as both teams are out on the floor warming up for this contest between the Appomattox Raiders and the Altavista Colonels.
Yeah, you're back after a little hiatus. You saw the Colonels take on Goochland earlier in the year, and the Colonels are back after being on the road at Goochland second time around. They get the victory on the road Saturday. That was the last time we were on the air. Of course, the weather earlier this week, Colonels had a game canceled against William Campbell. That has been moved to February 10th, and then we also got a few more other scheduled changes as well, Dave. Going to take on Rustburg tomorrow. Tip-off for that one around 4 o'clock, so Subway pregame show for that will get underway around 3:30.
And that will be at Rustburg, so we've just been told. And then we're looking at a Monday night game against Brookville at Brookville.
Yeah, so Monday night, yeah, like you said, at Brookville. And then Tuesday will roll around, and the Colonels will have to take on their big rival, the Gretna Hawks, again. So that's, let's see, count them up, 4 games in 5 days. We'll let the guys have Sunday off to rest a little bit. But Subway pregame show never rests. It's Jan-U-N-E. You still got all those great $5 footlong specials. And, of course, the Meatball Marinara, the featured $5 footlong of the month. Easy for me to say. And we both ate fresh earlier before the game tonight.
Well, and I was just thinking as we were sitting there eating tonight, I suppose there is somebody out there who has not tried a Subway, visited one of the locations either here in Altavista or somewhere else, but you get in and out of there so quick, and these days there's such a big variety of menu items, the pizza and the salads along with the footlongs and 6-inch subs. So, boy, we saw a family in there. There were 5 of them, and they were ordering up some pizzas and all that good stuff. You get in and out of there in a hurry and at a reasonable price, especially with the Jan-U-N-E deal of $5 footlong.
Doesn't get much better than Subway's in Altavista. Doesn't get much better than the Subway pregame show. We'll get a chance to hear from the head coach, Mike Carlera, when you come back. Raiders, Colonels, set to tip it off in about 15 minutes here on 105.5 KD Country.
Man, it's cold in here. What's wrong with your heater?
Well, it used to work pretty good.
Back in the 90s, just call Select Air and get it fixed.
Oh, it'll probably cost a lot of money.
No, it won't, because Donnie will give you a fair price and get it done right the first time.
Maybe I'll call Select Air tomorrow.
No, you will call Select Air today, because it's freezing in here.
Select Air, 841-1580. 841-1580. Online at selectair.webs.com.
Hi, I'm Tracy Robinson of First National Bank. Did you know there are great home mortgage opportunities available right now? With rates being at an all-time low and 100% financing, our recognized mortgage lenders will deliver the right loan for your needs. Put this together with our other progressive mortgage products, our fast local service, and we're ready to lend. First National Bank, over 100 years of dependable custom banking. For you and your money, that's important. First National Bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
The following is brought to you by English Construction Company.
There's just one place where students are students first, and athletics are played with purpose and perspective. That place is your local high school. High school sports offer more than the joy of competition. Studies show that student athletes in Virginia are also likely to enjoy greater levels of achievement in other areas of their lives, including academics. High school sports, a winning part of a complete education.
You're listening to award-winning coverage of the Altavista Colonels on 105.5 KD Country.
Back here on the Subway pregame show, talking with the head coach, Mike Cardellaro, again. And Coach C, wintertime rears its ugly head. Honestly, this year hasn't been as bad as some years past. But how does the weather affect your preparation? I mean, as a basketball coach, I know you're used to kind of having these odd schedules and things. But what have you guys had to do specifically this week to make adjustments for the weather?
Well, obviously the William Campbell game got moved from Tuesday night. We moved that to February. We did get a chance to practice Monday, but with the anticipation of the weather Tuesday and then Wednesday we were out. We did have school yesterday, and we had a chance to practice. And all teams go through this. You know, you can't complain. You just got to adjust. You got to adapt and go. And hopefully yesterday we bounced back a little bit, and then we'll see what we have tonight.
The last time we saw your team in action was up at Goochland. You guys avenged your first loss of the season. And I remember when we talked to you in the pregame show for that, after Brookville, you had seemed to admit that you were struggling to find ways to maybe motivate your guys. But everybody looked pretty focused and motivated up there at Goochland. So I don't know if you had the right answer or not, but things seemed to work out pretty well that game.
You know, it's not really me. It's the guys. You know, even though they're relatively young, I mean, it's a bunch of juniors out there and sophomores. They're an experienced team, and they've been to the top and won it. So it's really not the coaching staff as much as the kids, and if they've got their heads screwed on and ready to go. And we played really well on the road, and the best thing that happened to us, we got in foul trouble early. And the officials were calling it tight, and you have to adjust. And it made us really defend better. We had a lot better gap between defender and offensive player, and our help defense started playing the way it used to. And, you know, we created 26 turnovers, not by jumping in the passing lane, but covering up the driving lanes and really frustrating the team that, you know, came in here and beat us the first game.
Yeah, offensively, they were a good basketball team, and you guys made them look pretty pedestrian up there at Goochland. Tonight, another good basketball team, the Appomattox Raiders, are in town, a team that you guys have had a lot of good battles with over the years. What does this team bring to the table here tonight?
They're a dangerous team. Their perimeter's very good. Blankenship at point guard. Ferguson's a leading scorer, probably 17 a game. He's getting 6 or 7 rebounds and maybe 3 steals a game. Morgan is a terrific athlete on the wing, so they're very solid on the perimeter. They've got the guys inside, are role players. They play 4 forwards, 2 and 2. We really think tonight that they're going to try to beat on us and get physical inside. You know, and they got fouls to waste on the Twins. Inside. So, you know, we really got to do a good job on the perimeter and not let them get going. And we've got to bring that defensive effort that we had last Saturday back to the floor at home, and we've got to be able to play at home. You know, I think we get so wound up playing at home and in front of the home crowd that sometimes we lose focus of what we're doing, and we got to get that back. We got to have that consistent, and home's got to be where we want to play, not on the road.
Well, that was going to be another one of my questions as far as playing at home goes. Is that the main key? Just stay focused on the game plan and not get away and not try and do too much showing off and that sort of thing?
It is. You know, these are still teenagers, right. And they've been very successful the last couple of years. You know, in a lot of sports. So to keep maintain the focus, play as a team. You know, do the things that we need to do in order to get there. And every night's not the same. You know, you may get 20 one night, you may get 8 or 10 the next, but those things need to be more consistent, and they're going to happen. It's going to happen for us.
Yeah, it seems like if you take care of the fundamentals and the things you work on in practice, then the fun stuff will happen on its own. That fun's just a byproduct of winning the game, right?
Absolutely. And you know, this team is special in that they can get out in the passing lane. When they get out on a break, I mean, they look like a college team. Right. You know, there's no doubt about that. But you can't play the game waiting for those or trying to create those plays as much as when they happen, and that's great. But be consistent, be disciplined, especially on defense, you know, and stay fundamental on offense and share the ball. You know, the game, the beauty of the game is 5 people playing together, and chemistry's chemistry. And you watch college games and you see some teams struggle with it. I saw Michigan State the other night, and they struggled awfully at home, just sharing the ball. And it happens, and it's part of that struggle that teams have, and when they get it right, they become dangerous, and hopefully that's going to get a little better for us tonight.
Yeah, that's something I think you've mentioned before. Only one basketball to go around. A lot of different guys on your team can score it. Sharing the basketball important. Let's share the love with the shout-out time on the pregame show.
I like that. Well, my dad's here tonight. He's made the trip over in the cold to watch. Minnie and Billy are listening in Orlando, Florida. Hope they are doing well. Micah and Heather, Miranda, McKinley, and little Micah's listening in. As always, our dear neighbors Sarah and Swanson. Ashley, my daughter, and Lee, my wife, are not here. They're actually in Maryland right now with Lee's sister Ann and Chris and Jane, and I know they are listening in. Colonel fans got a big alert to tell you about, or a big message anyhow. 2 weeks from tonight, we're going to honor the 04 state championship team. Yes, Kyle, it's been 10 years. I know it's hard to believe it's been 10 years, but if you look at my gray hair, you can see that it's been 10 years. We've got good response from the players and coaching staff. We think we're going to have everyone in attendance. Might be missing out on Big Alan Grisinda, who's out in the Rocky Mountains, but we're still trying to lure him back, at least for the night. Be great to see him, get him out at halftime, read a little bit about the team. Call out each name. Hopefully ABC 13 will be down, snap a few pictures, and hey, it's memory time. It's been 10 years. They were a special group, and it's time to honor those guys. So come out. It'll be 2 weeks from tonight. We'll be playing Chatham on a Friday, and it'll be senior night also, so it should be a big crowd and a special welcome back to the 04 state championship team.
I'm getting goosebumps just thinking about it, Coach. Good stuff and fun as always. Colonels look to heat up a cold, blustery January night against Appomattox. Tip-off in about 15 minutes on the Subway pregame show on 105.5.
Stay cool in the summer and warm in the winter. Tyree Little's Heating and Cooling, on the ready to keep you comfortable year-round. Locally owned and operated, just a call away with over 20 years experience. Licensed and bonded. Tyree Little's Heating and Cooling, specializing in heating, air, plumbing, and electrical. Any season, anytime. Tyree Little's Heating and Cooling, keeping you cool in the summer and warm in the winter. Give them a call today. Tyree Little's Heating and Cooling, Gretna.
In the past century, our community has grown, and Finch & Finch Funeral and Cremation Service has grown too, alongside the families they've known for so long. Finch & Finch is proud to have served you over 100 years. A family business, Finch & Finch Funeral and Cremation Service, dedicated to your service.
Finch & Finch Funeral Homes. We're here because we care.
High school athletics builds character, teaches teamwork, and provides a solid foundation for life. PCM Industrial Services recognizes the importance of high school athletics by sponsoring this sports broadcast for your enjoyment. PCM Industrial Services encourages everyone to come on out and watch the game. It's a great time for the whole family. Cheer on the Colonels. PCM Industrial Services, the industrial maintenance and construction specialists, serving the Mid-Atlantic region with quality craftsmen since 1986. Good luck, Colonels.
You're listening to award-winning coverage of the Altavista Colonels on 105.5 KD Country.
51 years of high school sports coverage on 105.5, and we are back here at the friendly confines of the Altavista High School Gymnasium. And again, a very cold night. Thank you for joining us. And this matchup here, Dave, the Appomattox Raiders in town to take on the Altavista Colonels. This has been a fun battle over recent years, and Appomattox has got a lot of those same guys that we've seen. Kendall Blankenship, number one, the quarterback, comes to mind. Amazing on the football field. And he's a pretty doggone good point guard on the hardwood as well.
Well, and you saw how fast in the football season, how quick he was. And I'm sure we're going to see an up-tempo game between these two schools tonight, although I know Mike likes to play a more controlled offense. But I think they'll get out and run a little bit.
Well, Coach Carlero has just tried to dispel those rumors about him liking to slow the game down. No, I think Coach C's main thing is let's get the W. And the style probably depends on more so the matchup that the Colonels have. And the Colonels are facing an athletic Appomattox team, so you do have a point in that it may be beneficial for Altavista to sort of slow the pace down a little bit here tonight. And some folks that never slow down are our wonderful sponsors. We couldn't do it without them. People like Select Air. 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Call 841-1580. First National Bank, focused on providing an extraordinary customer experience. English Construction Company, wishing our high school athletes an exciting and injury-free game. Fellers Chevrolet, a short drive will save you money. Online at fellersdirect.com. El Cazador Mexican Restaurant, the happiest place in town. English's, your complete home center and headquarters for Davis Paints. Finch & Finch Funeral and Cremation Services, a family serving family since 1905. Apple Market, serving you from 3 great locations, Riverside, Gateway, and Main Street in Altavista. PCM Industrial, providing maintenance, repair, and other plant services to industrial and utility clients since its founding in 1986. And Tyree Little Heating and Cooling, keeping you cool in the summer, warm in the winter. Give them a call today. Of course, streaming online audio at kdcountry.com, brought to you by the Walmart on the Clarion Road in Altavista. Save money, live better, Walmart. And believe it or not, there are places colder than where we're at right now, Dave, and you can even hear the game in those places like that.
Like International Falls, where it's 36 below zero.
You were there once, weren't you? Or was that Green Bay?
I was there in the summertime. I was in Green Bay in the winter. And it was plenty cold with the wind coming in off the lake, that's for sure.
Yeah, I would think with the frigid air out there tonight and the breeze, even somebody from Green Bay would have to find it a little chilly out here tonight in Central Virginia. A couple other big games going on, rivalry games up to our north, Heritage taking on EC Glass, and then to our south, the Gretna Hawks are taking on the Chatham Cavaliers. Big rivalry there in Pittsylvania County. So we're smack dab in the middle, but I think we got a game here tonight that's going to live up to the expectations of all the Hoops fans that are in the building.
A couple of district rivals as far as that goes, although we'll talk some more as we get down the road at halftime about the playoffs.
Dave's getting choked up just thinking about the playoffs. It's an emotional thing. Yeah, the playoffs, which are still somewhat of a mystery to us. Maybe that's why you were choked up.
Well, I've got a little clearer picture than before I walked in the gym. Dean Hubbard was explaining to me a little bit of how the playoffs are going to go. And like I say, it's a lot more complicated or difficult to understand because it's new this year. But it'll follow. If you're a volleyball fan, you probably got some idea what the format is like. The football playoffs were a little different too. So, but we're getting ahead of ourselves. A lot of basketball to be played in the next 2 weeks.
Yeah, really the regular season is sort of winding down as far as the actual days that are left to play, but the Colonels are going to cram a lot of games in a short amount of time, particularly, like I said, the next 5 days here with 4 games. 3 or more on the road, too, so that won't make things a whole lot easier for Mike Cardolero's squad. But
it'll be a good test of their ability, and really, I think sometimes during the season, I haven't been to all the games, but I've listened to several of them on radio, and it sounds like oftentimes the Colonels have somewhat of an easy time against their opposition. Dan Rivers certainly the exception, and that first Goochland game where the Colonels really hadn't had a lot of basketball practice.
Yeah, that's an interesting point, and I think a point Oscar and I made. The Colonels' wins are all coming by 20, 25, 30 points sometimes. The losses have been close. You know, the 2 combined losses by just 3 points. A 1-point loss to Dan River, a 2-point loss in overtime to Goochland. So, yeah, it is interesting. The Colonels haven't really won a close game. They've been in some close games, but they haven't been on the winning side of a close game. And who knows? Maybe these 4 games in the next 5 days will feature a close win by the Colonels. I think Mike Cardolero's happy as long as he gets out with the W.
Sure, that's the whole goal, of course. And the Colonels are 8-2 on the season. They hope to expand on that tonight. But we're not too far away from tip-off here. The Colonels are dressed in their white home uniforms tonight with the orange trim and orange numerals. And the Appomattox Raiders are dressed in their dark blue with the white trim.
Color guard coming out now to do the national anthem, and we'll step aside for a timeout. We'll be back with the tip-off and so much more here on 105.5 KD Country.
This month's specials from your Apple Market convenience stores. Coke 6-pack cans are $1.29 and 24 cans for $6.99. Extra large Lay's chips selling for $3.49. Chicken Parmesan sandwiches and subs special price reduction for January. A piece's delicious fried chicken now $7.99 from 4 to 8 p.m. only at Apple Market locations Riverside, Gateway, and Main Street, Altavista. You know what they say, an apple a day keeps the doctor away.
A short drive will save you money.
That's right. A short drive can save you hundreds, maybe thousands. The absolute best selection of new and pre-owned vehicles to choose from. Have a trade? When you make a deal, Feller Chevrolet will pay it off, no matter how much you owe. Slow credit? Don't worry. Drive away today in your new or pre-owned vehicle. Remember, if you didn't purchase your vehicle from Feller Chevrolet, you paid too much for it.
Feller Chevrolet in Altavista.
Good food, low prices, and great service keep customers coming back for more day after day at El Cazador Mexican Restaurant in Altavista. El Cazador is now open all afternoons, so you can buy anytime, any day, 11 a.m. until 10 p.m. El Cazador Mexican Restaurant, a great place to unwind and relax with friends. Open 7 days a week, Main Street, Altavista. El Cazador thanks you for your business and making them the #1 Mexican restaurant in town.
You're listening to award-winning coverage of the Altavista Colonels on 105.5 KD Country.
Pep band here at Altavista's version of the national anthem, wrapping up. A very good rendition there as the color guard featured local Boy Scout members there, Dave. And
yeah, that was nice. It added a lot of atmosphere to this game. The gym not really filled up on this cold night, but crowd still coming in as we get around to the starting lineups. And here on the Subway pregame show, opportunity for us to do the Appomattox Raiders here.
Yeah.
All right. Of course, number 1, Kendall Blankenship will be out there starting. Number 13, Grant Paulette being introduced. Number 12, Khalil McCoy. Number 14, Dre Perkins. And number 21, Marquise Morgan. And that's the Appomattox Raiders starting lineup. Travis Cottrell, their head coach. And now the Colonels with their introductions.
yeah, and the introduction is an understatement here as they turn out the lights at Altavista High School for the light show. And once again, it bears repeating. If you haven't been out to check out a Colonel game in person, it's probably worth it just for the intros here.
Yeah, if you haven't seen it, it's probably hard to imagine it as well. As it's so visual and energizing with the music and that sort of thing.
Yeah, the music and the lights get the crowd going, and then the crowd gets the players going, and it's pretty neat. It's something you see in college, and in fact, it's probably a lot better than most colleges do, in fact, really. But starters for the Altavista Colonels are going to be the usual suspects: Darius Johnson, Demetrius Johnson, Juan Thornhill, Michi Malback, and the lone senior, Richard Hubbard. They are, of course, coached by Mike Cardellaro.
And just to further elaborate on this light show, you got a couple of strobe lights going up at the top of the gym. And at the free throw line is a spotlight on each of the Altavista players as they're introduced. And I think you can get a bit of what the introductions sound like from Kenny Hunt's bravado in his voice. And it is college NBA style introduction.
Yeah.
Or it reminds me of the movie with Bugs Bunny and Michael Jordan in it, where they all came out.
Yeah. It is. We're going to start calling it the Space Jam intro. You're right about that. It is a lot of fun, and it definitely gets the players, it gets the crowd into it. And I don't know if it's like the old Boston Garden where, just the intimidation puts the visiting team a couple points down, but I think there's a bit of an intimidation factor,
well, that's
too.
what I was going to say. It's psych.
Yeah.
It's just a kind of a psych job. Now, I'm sure as the schools come here more often, they'll get a little bit used to it. But if you're a first-timer in this gym, you got to be thinking, wow, is this a rocket? And we're ready to go here with tonight's game between the Appomattox Raiders and the Altavista Colonels. By the way, the JV lost the game for the Colonels earlier tonight to the Appomattox Raiders.
Yes, 60-56. The junior varsity Raiders get the victory on the road here in Altavista, and the lights have to reset and cycle through again, and then they cut back on, and then we're set to go. Appomattox came out on the court a little bit early. Altavista knows the drill, so they stayed in their pregame huddle a little bit longer.
Cardellaro had him in a last-minute huddle there, some last-minute instructions, and we're ready to go here. And let's see, number 10, Johnson, is that Demetrius or Darius?
That's Darius, yeah.
Yeah, I can't keep him straight. And number 12, jumping for Khalil McCoy for the Raiders. As we're set to go, they throw it up.
H.F. Haymore throws up the tip-off. Altavista controls it. Richard Hubbard gets it in the backcourt, just hands it off to Juan Thornhill. I'll give you a hint on the Johnson brothers, Dave. Demetrius has the longer hair. Darius has the shaved head. That's the easiest way you can tell them apart. But, they are pretty similar, especially in their styles of play, too. Both very, very active big men for the Altavista Colonels. Raiders look like they're in a zone. Hubbard back to Thornhill. Left point. Michi Malback has it now. Left wing looking inside. Lob pass to Demetrius Johnson. Knocked away. Finally controlled by Kendall Blankenship. Early turnover for the Colonels. Still no score here in the Apple Market first quarter. And then the turnover right back the other way as Blankenship walks with it.
Get a little anxious coming over the timeline as we get no score just underway here at Altavista High School.
Remember, 3 great Apple Market locations in Altavista: Main Street, Gateway, and Riverside. Thornhill bounce pass to Darius Johnson, who has stepped out beyond the three-point line. Swings it over to Richard Hubbard. Hubbard looking down low for Demetrius. Nothing there, so he'll get it to Michi Malback, right point. Michi takes a step inside the three-point line, backs it out. Has the basketball back after a return pass from Hubbard. Michi kick out to Thornhill. Thornhill left-hand dribble to the free throw line. Backs it back out. Colonels, again, probing that Appomattox defense. Very patient. No shot attempts just yet. 1 turnover for the Colonels, though, early the first time they had the basketball. Darius has it. Top of the key, now three-point line. Over to Hubbard in the corner. Hubbard still looking inside, back to Darius Johnson. Coach Cardellaro shouting some instructions from over on the Altavista bench, and it looks like the Colonels will reset their offense. 6:40 to play. Still no scores. 0-0 between Appomattox and Altavista. Malback now over to Demetrius Johnson. Down low to Darius Johnson. Darius was fouled as he was getting the basketball. They'll say that's on the floor. Colonels will inbound underneath their own scoring basket. 6.5 minutes to play exactly in the Apple Market first quarter. Still 0-0.
So the Colonels had a good look at the basket there, but the foul came before the shot.
Inbound play on the way. Bounce pass to Richard Hubbard. Hubbard thought about a spot up 3, but now he'll dribble it out to the perimeter. Over to Demetrius Johnson, right point. Steps inside the three-point line. Couple dribbles, slashing to the basket. He is fouled, putting up the shot. Basketball never made it to the rim, but Demetrius Johnson will make it to the free throw line to shoot a pair. Still 0-0, 6:23 to play.
Colonels going left to right as usual from the home court here in front of us tonight. And Johnson set in the free throw line, puts the first one up, and nothing but net.
Nothing but net. Zach Perkins will check in, first substitute of the game for either team. Appomattox with a lot of guys that play multiple sports. Perkins is a baseball player and a golfer as well. And, the Colonels are the same way, really. All those guys, 4 of the guys out there in the court right now for them play football. Thornhill, the Johnsons, and Michi Malback, and then Richard Hubbard, a golfer in the fall.
Yeah,
both
good
free throws
golfer.
Converted. Yes, absolutely. Question here at the scorer's table now as they've blown the horn, stopped the clock. Score is 2-0. There is no score on the scoreboard, though. As Demetrius did make both free throws. And hopefully it's not a scoreboard malfunction. Hopefully it's just they haven't put the points up yet. If the scoreboard was malfunctioning, well, then you and I are really going to earn our Subway subs tonight if we have to keep a running score.
H.F. Haymore has come over to the scorer's table down below us here and talking things over. Has a word with the Appomattox coach and now takes a couple of steps and talks with Mike Cardellaro.
Yeah. I remember a few years ago, back when you were still doing the football games, the Colonels had that scoreboard problem in football there for a few weeks, I think it was.
Mm-hmm.
And that's not fun for anybody at all. The time is working.
And it says 2-0 on the scoreboard, so.
Yeah, it says, well, actually, now it says 2-1. They've taken the 1 off for Appomattox. Appomattox has just had the basketball just for a few seconds. They got it on a Blankenship steal, and then he turned it over. Maybe it's the foul situation, as Kenny Hunt points that possibility out to us, because Appomattox should have 2 team fouls.
I think they're changing that now, because it was 1 foul for each team. They've taken the fouls off for Altavista and put 2 under Appomattox on the scoreboard.
Even though I was a player more recently than you were, Dave, I'll pose you the question. As a player, does this throw you out of your rhythm right here, especially so early, just hanging out like this for 3 or 4 minutes?
I never got in that good a rhythm to have to get out of, but I suppose it does have some effect.
Well, Appomattox really, and again, this is actually more so like their first time touching the basketball. Blankenship will cross the timeline, chest pass over to Perkins, who's checked in the game off the bench. Motion offense for the Raiders. Blankenship gets it back, top of the keys, guarded tightly by his counterpart, number 1, Michi Malbeck. Passing over to number 14, that's Drew Perkins. Perkins inside of the big man, blocked away, but they're going to call a foul on one of the Johnson brothers. Let's see who it was. Big man that caught it was Marquise Morgan for Appomattox.
And it's on Demetrius Johnson, number 5. So now the Colonels do have a foul up on the scoreboard. And the Raiders seem to be trying to play really up-tempo. It looks like Blankenship's really trying to move quickly, force things as he goes along in there.
Yeah, I would agree. Blankenship is a quick guy, so I think it's in his nature to move quickly. But I think you're right. I think that's by design, and they'd like to attack the Altavista defense early and often. No free throw is converted there for Morgan, so still 2-0 Colonel lead. The Colonel defense continues to pitch a shutout. Little handoff to Johnson. Johnson over to Malbeck. Malbeck 3-ball, no good. Rebound still loose, controlled by Marquise Morgan. He almost lost it as Darius Johnson tried to just strip it away from him from the backside. Appomattox will break the timeline, get it in the front court. That's Drew Perkins over to Grant Paulette. Paulette inside to Morgan again. Morgan puts up the layup, no good. Shot was altered. Second chance, no good. Rebounded by Darius Johnson. Good defense inside by Darius Johnson to contest the shot but not get a foul. Thornhill, spin move in the lane, drops it off to Demetrius Johnson. Johnson to the right block, and he's fouled again. He'll go back to the free throw line. Again, in the act of shooting, but the basketball never got out of his hands because of the physical foul.
Colonel's trying to draw the contact as they drive into the lane, and have to point out that a couple of the Raiders guys, pretty good size underneath, wide bodies and plenty of height. So it's going to be a tough challenge rebounding for the Johnsons tonight. Good competition.
It is. Coach Cardellaro mentioned that they've got plenty of forwards, and they will put 2 out there on the court at the same time. Both free throws no good. That trip for Demetrius, but he got his own rebound. Second chance attempt was thrown away. Blocked away, I should say. Yeah. Excuse me. It'll stay with the Altavista Colonels. A couple more subs coming in the game now for the Raiders.
Ball under the Colonel's basket as Malbeck will inbound it from his own end line.
Tevin Morgan in the game now for Appomattox along with Chicago Ferguson. One of the all-time best names around. Short little bounce pass to Juan Thornhill on the inbound. Juan will dribble it back out to the right arc beyond the three-point line. Chest pass back to Michi Malbeck. Now they get it over left wing to Richard Hubbard. Malbeck contemplating the 3. Now he'll bounce pass back over to Hubbard. Hubbard back to Michi Malbeck. Most of the action taking place along the perimeter, and they're going to whistle Michi for a traveling violation. Took an extra step there before he put the basketball down on the dribble. Raider basketball, they trail 2-0, under 5 minutes to play here in the Apple Market first quarter. Long pass from Blankenship breaks the timeline. They get it to Paulette, top of the key. Now taken away, Darius Johnson has it. Fast break opportunity here for the Colonels. Johnson weaving in out of traffic, puts up the shot, goes in, and he's fouled. Nice play right there by Darius Johnson, getting the steal, and then really running the one-man fast break.
Colonels had some numbers, but Darius kept it all the way and did a nice job of finishing the shot.
It's okay that you confuse him because free throw attempt no good. I'll get back to why it's okay that you can confuse him there. Rebound controlled by Marquise Morgan, then he hands it off to Chicago Ferguson. Colonels 0 for 3 in their last 3 trips to the free throw line. Morgan driving the lane, off the window and in, so Appomattox will finally score some points. 4-2, still an Altavista lead. It's been cut in half, though. 4.5 minutes to play now in the Apple Market first quarter. Crossover dribble by Thornhill. He gets it to Michi Malbeck. Left wing to Richard Hubbard. Demetrius Johnson pops out of the three-point line. Now back to Malbeck. Inside to Darius Johnson. Johnson fouled. Shot up. Won't go in, but he'll head to the free throw line. I was saying about the Johnson brothers, Dave. I make the mistake of confusing Josh Walker and Chris Walker, 2 guys that never even played together, and I make the mistake of confusing Jake McClure and Josh McClure. Of course, Josh, a player on the team now. Jacob McClure was a player on the team last year and a coach now. So at least you're confusing guys that are on the court at the same time. I used to confuse people that never even played together.
You think that helps the listeners any?
No, and I don't think me explaining it really helps them either. Second free throw goes in, so 1 of 2 converted by Darius Johnson. Colonels had missed 4 straight up to that point. But Darius makes the back end, 5-2. It's a Colonel lead. Ferguson breaking the timeline over to Tevin Morgan. That basketball knocked away momentarily. They get it to Marquise Morgan down low, swatted away by Darius Johnson. Morgan got it back, stuck it in, and good. Good perseverance there by Morgan. He's got all 4 points for the Raiders. They trail by 1, 5-4, Colonel lead. Under 4 minutes to go now in the Apple Market first quarter. Starters still in the court for Altavista. It's both Johnson brothers, Hubbard, Thornhill, and Malbeck. Altavista loses the basketball. Here comes the Raiders on the fast break. Ferguson slashing the lane. Bounce passes out to Paulette. Paulette, 17-foot jumper. No good. Rebounded by Richard Hubbard. Colonel's going the other way, and they look like they want to go quickly. Now Michi will slow it down temporarily. Bounce pass to Demetrius Johnson. Johnson going up for the lay-in. Wouldn't go. Took some contact there, but no whistle. Looks like Walker Allen down there at the scorer's table ready to check in into the next dead ball for the Colonels. Appomattox basketball. Ferguson bounce pass to Paulette. Paulette looking for somewhere to go. Guarded tightly by Demetrius Johnson. And Demetrius just ripped it out of his hands. Nice play there by Demetrius. Demetrius lost the basketball, and the Appomattox Raiders will get it back. No whistle there, even though there was some contact. Ferguson, middle of the lane, kick out to Blankenship. Blankenship, three-pointer is good.
And he was wide open from the right wing.
Not a lot the Colonels could do there, as they really weren't in any sort of organized position defensively. First lead of the game for Appomattox, 7-5. It is a Raider advantage right now. Thornhill just a step away from the sideline. Now he'll dribble at middle of the court. Pulls up from 13 feet right outside the lane. No good. Rebound comes down to Darius Johnson. Johnson from 10 feet. His won't go. Got his own rebound. Sticking it back up. He made that one go. A lot of contact inside. Good stick-to-itiveness by Darius Johnson.
Yeah, good perseverance.
And I think the players are starting to get a feel for how the refs are going to call the fouls in this game, because there's been some body contact and some slapping around, but no whistles. So that's just something they'll have to get adjusted to, I suppose. Raiders lost the basketball, taken away by Darius Johnson, but he couldn't stay in bounds. Marquise Morgan goes into the front row, into some young children there, but he pats them on the heads, makes sure they're okay down there in the first row.
Both teams seem a little bit cool like the weather as far as the scoring goes as we open the first quarter of play here tonight with the Colonels and the Raiders 7-7.
Yeah, we thought they were going to heat things up. Marquise Morgan in the lane, bounce passed away. Here comes Blankenship with it now for the Raiders. Ferguson pull up from just outside the lane. The runner will go. Nice shot there by the lefty, Chicago Ferguson, from about 10 feet on the floater. Under 2 minutes to play now. It's a 9-7 Appomattox lead. Thornhill just going to walk the basketball up the court. Looking inside, maybe a man-to-man defense now for Appomattox. They may have gotten out of that zone. Thornhill has it back right there at the volleyball line. Over to Hubbard. In the corner to Walker Allen. Allen, three-pointer, good. That'll bring a nice applause from the crowd. And the Colonels have the lead back, 10-9.
And that's the first shot from outside the arc tonight for the Colonels.
Yep. First long-range shot from them. Allen's hit a bunch of them all year. Referee stopped play momentarily to say something, I guess, to the Appomattox bench. No foul or anything given. I guess he just wanted to have a little talking to there, if you will. Appomattox basketball. They trail by 1. Marquise Morgan has it right in front of the Altavista bench. He'll hand it off to Tevin Morgan. Morgan, 3-ball on the way and good. And now you mentioned both teams were a little cool like the weather. Seems like both teams shooting starting to heat up a bit.
Yeah.
Back-to-back three-pointers for the Raiders. And the Colonels hit a 3-ball in their last trip down. 1:05 to play. Malbeck penetrating the lane, kicks out to Walker Allen. Allen, three-pointer, in and out, and it goes down. Walker Allen with the shooter's touch. Took some contact after the shot, too. And now Coach Travis Cottrell for Appomattox wants a timeout. He will get the timeout. We will observe it with him. 30-second break here. Colonels lead by 1, 13-12, 55 seconds to play in the first quarter from 105.5 KD Country.
Installing Atrium vinyl replacement windows is like an investment in your home that can begin to pay dividends right away. You can save up to 30% or more on your home's heating and cooling costs. Add to your home's equity and add to its value by upgrading its looks and energy efficiency. Custom crafted Atrium vinyl replacement windows. Invest in your home's future with English's.
English's is your complete home center.
Business 29 Altavista.
You're listening to award-winning coverage of the Altavista Colonels on 105.5 KD Country.
Colonels with a 1-point lead. They've gotten their last 6 points from Walker Allen beyond the 3-point range there, Dave. And interesting first quarter so far, seeing a little bit of everything.
Boy, it has been kind of fast and furious here, and particularly the last half of the first quarter, brought to you by the Apple Markets.
Yeah, both teams have started to heat up from beyond the arc there. Back-to-back three-pointers for the Raiders, back-to-back three-pointers for the Altavista Colonels. Blankenship driving the lane, right side of the lane, puts up a floater and gets it to go in off the iron, then the window. Appomattox gets the lead back, 14-13. Thornhill bringing it up for the Altavista Colonels. Shake and bake move, going to the right side of the lane. Puts up the up and under layup, won't go in. He was a little bit out of control. Rebounded by the Raiders. Here comes Ferguson in a hurry, left side of the lane. Throws up a floater of his own and gets it to go in off the glass. Raiders now 16-13 lead.
Ferguson's on fire.
He is. Let's see if the Colonels want to hold for the last shot or not. It looks like they do. Malbeck will pull it up. He's standing inside the half-court circle. Bounce passes it to Thornhill. Just a step in front of the half-court line. Thornhill driving the lane. Lost it momentarily. Puts in the layup. Won't go in. Tapped his own rebound. Demetrius gets his hands on a rebound. Puts the second one up, and he's fouled from behind. Shot won't go in. He's headed to the free throw line. 3.2 seconds left. Good job by the Colonels on the offensive glass. Demetrius Johnson will get a chance to make it pay off with points here for the home team.
13-16 in favor of Appomattox Raiders.
Foul is on number 14, Dre Perkins, his second foul. 16 foul for the Raiders. First free throw up and in. And maybe that's what Coach Cottrell is discussing with the official. There's 16 fouls on Appomattox, Dave. One on Altavista. Some of that is probably a byproduct of the good Colonel defense, but I'm sure Coach Cottrell is going to make his point anyway. Both free throws good by Demetrius Johnson. 16-15. Raiders have a couple seconds here. Ferguson breaks the timeline, half-court shot off back iron, and had a good chance to go in, but it was just a little bit long, and that'll bring a close to the first quarter. Raiders, visiting team, they're up by one, 16-15. Second quarter on the way when you come back on 105.5 KD Country.
Tonight's game is brought to you by the Katy Country Sports Club.
Tyree Little Heating and Cooling in Gretna, keeping you cool in the summer and warm in the winter and comfortable in between.
Sharky's Pest Control. Let Tony take a bite out of your pest control needs. Doing business the old-fashioned way.
Main Street Trading Company Consignment, now open Wednesday through Friday, 11 a.m. till 6 p.m. and Saturday, 9 a.m. till 4.
El Cerrito Mexican Restaurant, Altavista. Throw on a sombrero, shake your maracas. It's El Cerrito time. Authentic Mexican cuisine only at El Cerrito.
Steve Farmer Auto Sales, where there's always a good selection of cars, trucks, SUVs, priced right, financing available. That's Steve Farmer Auto Sales, Main Street, Altavista.
You're listening to award-winning coverage of the Altavista Colonels on 105.5 KD Country.
Colonels trail after one. 16-15, Appomattox lead. Kyle Haney alongside Dave Haney. The fabulous Haney brothers. Maybe that's not exactly accurate, but we'll go with it. Raiders have looked pretty good here, Dave, and we knew that Appomattox had an athletic group that was going to really give Altavista some trouble, and we're seeing it firsthand. Raiders get the basketball to start the second half. Ferguson, wild layup in the middle of the lane, wouldn't go in. 5 Colonels converge around the glass there for the rebound. Hubbard has it on the offensive end for Altavista. Thornhill lost it, got it tapped away from the backside. He thought maybe there was some contact there. No whistle again. Ferguson getting up quickly. Blankenship driving the left side of the lane. He'll get it to go in on the wraparound layup right there. Tough shot.
It was, but he made it look easy.
18-15 now, Appomattox leads. Thornhill chest pass over to Hubbard. Navy Jones at the table to check in soon along with Darius Johnson. Walker Allen in the right corner for Altavista. Michi Malbeck now right wing. Now back to Allen. Back to Malbeck. Michi, extra step again. They're going to whistle him with the traveling violation. Michi not happy with himself. And here come those substitutes. Navy Jones, Darius Johnson, and they will join Michi Malbeck, Walker Allen, and Juan Thornhill on the court right now for the Altavista Colonels.
Just underway, second quarter, the Apple Market second quarter on KD Country.
Blankenship will bring it up, left-hand dribble over to Chicago Ferguson, right wing. He's guarded closely by Michi Malbeck. Gets it over to Tevin Morgan. Morgan, middle of the court, bounce pass to Marquise Morgan. Right block, puts it up, and it is blocked by Darius Johnson. Johnson takes that one away after the bounce, too. Nice job being the eraser down low by Darius Johnson. Navy Jones, left wing, picked up his dribble and got it back to Juan Thornhill. Thornhill surveying the defense momentarily. He'll step up to the three-point line. Chest pass back over to Navy. Walker Allen has it now just beyond the three-point line. Back to Navy Jones. Colonels doing a nice job controlling the basketball. Michi Malbeck driving left side of the lane. Jump stop off the window and in. Nice shot right there by Michi Malbeck. Took some contact, but put up a good quality shot off the glass from about 7 feet. 2 points for the Colonels. They trail by 1 now. Blankenship in a hurry, going down, middle of the court, puts up the floater again from about 5 feet, and it goes in. Boy, when he gets going full speed, he's tough to stop, Dave.
Just zip by Navy Jones on that layup.
Not many people can zip by Mr. Navy Jones either, so that's pretty impressive stuff there from number 1, Kendall Blankenship. Colonels have the basketball in their hands again. Navy Jones has it to the left wing. Demichi Malbeck. Malbeck driving in. This time his layup would not go in. Denied. And it's rebounded by Chicago Ferguson and the Raiders. Here comes Ferguson going the other way quickly. 3-on-2. He sidesteps Navy Jones. Puts up the layup. Won't go in. Rebounded by Thornhill. Back and forth action now. Here comes the Colonels on the other side. Thornhill spin move at the top of the free throw lane. He will get fouled. I think they're going to call this foul on the floor, but we'll see. No, they're going to call it it was on the floor. It's a 1-and-1. 7 team fouls now on Appomattox.
And before you commented on Coach Cottrell talking with the referee, and like you say, I think he was talking about the lopsided foul situation, just trying to get the referee's attention to make sure they're calling it both ways.
Exactly. Thornhill at the free throw line to shoot a 1-and-1, excuse me. First one does go front iron, then off the backboard and in, so he will get both of them here. 5:48 remaining in the Apple Market second quarter. Colonels trail by 2, 20-18.
Good test for the Colonels here with an up-tempo game against the Athletic Raiders.
Yep. Second free throw was short by 1. Thornhill just did grab the front of the iron, then went down. Raiders have lost it. Threw it away. Ball actually went between Blankenship's legs, so the Colonels will take over right there beside their bench. Thornhill will get it on the inbounds. Now he just hands it over to Navy Jones. Jones standing in the half-court circle. Looks like the Colonels are going to run a set play here. Jones passes it off, cycling through. Thornhill at the free throw line. Left-hand dribble. Bounce past the Malbeck. Now back to Navy Jones. Jones from 3-ball land. Thought about driving. Now kicks it to Walker Allen. Allen will shoot the 3, and it's good, and he was fouled. Allen took some contact on a three-pointer earlier, but no whistle. This time he does get the call. He sinks the 3. Walker Allen has made 3 big threes on the evening. Now he'll get a chance to make it a 4-point play.
Gets up off the floor and walks slowly over to the free throw line. He's got the distance in basketball just like he does in football. If you're not a regular listener, Walker Allen is the field goal kickoff man for the Altavista Colonels state champion football team.
And Allen definitely had some distance on the football field. Can't make the free throw. Maybe it was too close for him. He's made 3 from beyond the arc. Colonels have grabbed the lead back, 21-20. Raider basketball. Tevin Morgan has it. Going to use a screen. He's going to pull up for 3, but they're going to say that screen was illegal, I think. And they're going to whistle number 12, Khalil McCoy. Excuse me, it was on 21. I reversed the numbers. It was on Marquise Morgan, his second. But, yeah, they got him for the illegal screen there.
I don't think you see that call very often.
No, you don't, and I think that's an interesting point. You know, the teams that do set the screens like they're supposed to with their feet set, in proper position, they're not going to get those fouls called against them.
The Raiders have set several screens throughout the first part of this game. 21-20, Altavista on top.
Juan walking it up from the backcourt. Now he does get into the front court. Michi Malbeck told him something in the backcourt, maybe about this next play. Thornhill slashing the lane, throws it up. Kind of a floater off balance there, but Juan gets it to go in for 2 more points. It's a 3-point Colonel lead now, 23-20. 5:48 to play in the first half. Appomattox basketball. Ferguson has it right wing. Morgan will pull up long 3, no good. Didn't draw anything, just an air ball, and it'll bounce out of bounds and stay to the Altavista Colonels. And Coach Cottrell for the Appomattox Raiders wants another timeout. We'll take it too. Colonels up 23-20. 4 minutes and 40 seconds left in the first half on 105.5 KD Country.
Man, it's cold in here. What's wrong with your heater?
Well, it used to work pretty good.
Back in the 90s, just call Select Air and get it fixed.
Oh, it'll probably cost a lot of money.
No, it won't, because Donnie will give you a fair price and get it done right the first time.
Maybe I'll call Select Air tomorrow.
No, you will call Select Air today, because it's freezing in here.
Select Air, 841-1580. 841-1580. Online at selectair.webs.com. You're listening to award-winning coverage of the Altavista Colonels on 105.5 KD Country.
Coach Cardellaro working hard on the sidelines here to coach his team up against the Appomattox Raiders, who are providing plenty of competition here in the early going of the first half of play between Altavista and Appomattox.
Yeah, good spirited contest here. And you mentioned gym not all the way full, but it's starting to fill up a little bit. I'd say 60-70% full now.
Yeah, that's about right.
Got to imagine we got a few people listening because of the cold weather at home. One-handed bounce pass. Thornhill gets it to Demetrius Johnson. Johnson back to Malbeck. They got Thornhill posting up down low. Ooh, nice spin move on the left-hand block. Juan puts it up softly with the right hand for two. Excellent stuff right there from Juan Thornhill.
2 quick baskets for Thornhill.
I like biscuits even better. I think we might have to start calling it that. Paulette has it in the corner for the Appomattox Raiders. Oh, he passed it right to Juan Thornhill. Good takeaway from number 2, Juan. Spin move, gets it to Michi Malbeck. Malbeck fouled, going up for the layup by number 1, Kendall Blankenship. Juan thought he was going to be able to get to the basket, but the defense stopped him. He had to just pitch it off to Michi Malbeck.
Looks like Juan has picked up his game here in the last couple of minutes.
Yeah, Juan has started to really come alive, and he tends to do that. You know, he understands the situations. I mean, he's a guy that he's got another gear that when the Colonels trail or when they really need a bucket or a defensive play, he can rise to the occasion, certainly.
I was thinking about that earlier in the week. He's done a good job this season of distributing the ball around and keeping everybody involved, but if there needs to be a go-to guy, he can do it.
Yeah, he has that takeover ability. Malbeck sinks both from the free throw line, so good job there by the Colonels to get some points off the turnover. 27-20. They raced it out to a 7-point lead. Boy, it seems like just a minute ago they trailed. Thornhill's got another steal. Gets it ahead to Demetrius Johnson. Johnson on the slam. And that rim is rocking right there. Demetrius Johnson.
Pretty.
That basket is going to be shaken for just a little while there. Thornhill came away with the steal. He saw Demetrius was out front. Got it to him with a perfect pass. Demetrius did the rest with the flush. Raider basketball. They need some points. They trail by 9 now. McCoy gets it and loses it. He has it back on the baseline, threw it away, gets it back again. No, now they're going to say he's standing out of bounds when he finally gets that one back. Basketball is bouncing back and forth like pinball for a minute, but the Colonels will come away with another turnover on the defensive side.
They had the Raiders trapped in the corner there and made an excellent defensive play to come away with the ball.
On the court right now for the Colonels, they have their starters, Michi Malbeck, Juan Thornhill, Richard Hubbard, and then the brothers Johnson, Darius, and Demetrius. Johnson brothers posted up on the low block right now. Thornhill has the basketball, 2 steps in front of half court. Left-hand dribble, taking his time, gets it to Michi Malbeck, standing right in front of Coach Cottrell on the Appomattox bench. Now Juan has it left-hand dribble, down low to Darius Johnson. Darius puts up the sky hook, gets it to go in with some contact. He's headed to the free throw line for the three-point play.
There's a good battle underneath both ends of the floor tonight, whether the ball is going inside or not. There's a lot of banging and beating underneath the basket. A couple of big guys on each team pushing around in there.
Great point. That paint right now, Dave, is really a battlefield for guys like Darius Johnson and Demetrius Johnson. And you said it, even when they don't have the basketball, they're constantly working for position. Darius going to try and cap off a very nice play with one more from the free throw line. 3:01 to play in the Apple Market second quarter. All of a sudden, it's an Altavista 11-point lead. Make it 12. That free throw goes back iron and in. Boy, Colonels trailed by 1 at the end of the first quarter. In this second quarter, they trailed by 2 or 3, and now they are up 12, really in the blink of an eye. Blankenship, three-pointer in and out, no good. Rebounded by Juan Thornhill from 7 feet. Here comes Juan, bringing it up pretty quickly. Juan, left side of the lane, throws up the up and under layup. He's fouled, and he'll go to the free throw line. Shot would not go in.
Faked right, went back to his left, drove around the defender, and couldn't quite get it to fall. But once again, as Juan Thornhill has picked up his game here, I think the Colonels have started to pull away a little bit from the Raiders.
Excellent point there. He is a leader in so many ways, and just when he picks up that intensity, maybe the rest of the team does the same thing.
32-20 in favor of Altavista here in the second quarter of Apple Market play.
Juan, very similar on the football field, too. Missed his first free throw. On the court right now for the Altavista Colonels, Nelson Dews has checked into the game for his first action. Walker Allen, Demetrius Johnson, Davy Jones, and Thornhill at the free throw line. Juan, back iron on the free throw, no good. They're going to get Demetrius Johnson for an over-the-back foul on the free throw. Believe that's just Demetrius' first foul. It's just the second one on Altavista as a team. No, it's actually the second one on Demetrius, so he's got both fouls.
Yeah. And Michi Malbeck checks back in as Demetrius checks out.
Well, this is a bit of a small lineup, Dave. No Johnson brothers on the court. Walker Allen, the tallest guy out there right now. And Walker does have some size, but he's not really your prototypical big man, I guess. Appomattox basketball. Number 11, Zach Perkins has it, holds it over his head. Now he passes to Trey Hamlet. Hamlet overhead pass to Dre Perkins. Chest pass to Chicago Ferguson. Ferguson over to Zach Perkins again. Loses it. Bad pass. Basketball is loose. Raiders tried to save it. Good hustle by Tevin Morgan to get on the floor, but he could not save it from going out of bounds.
Follow-up comment on Walker Allen. He's just a sophomore, so he could fill out yet in the next couple of years.
Well, that's a good point. We talk about the youth for the Altavista Colonels on the court right now. Thornhill and Malbeck juniors. The rest of the guys are sophomores. Nelson Dews, Walker Allen, and Navy Jones. Jones has it, standing on the AHS logo. Now passes it over to Nelson Dews. Dews will cycle it out here to the left wing. Cross-court pass to Michi Malbeck, right wing. Michi, little shake and bake, left-hand dribble. Thought about driving to the basket. Now he's going to try it again after a little hesitation. Lost the basketball momentarily. Now tried to go backdoor. Threw it away. Bounced off referee H.F. Haymore's leg, who was standing out of bounds. So it's a turnover.
The Raiders' pressure caused that turnover by the Colonels.
Yeah, Raiders' defensive pressure has been solid. I mean, I know Altavista does have a 12-point lead, 32-20, but the Raiders defensively have been okay most of the time. They're going to whistle Juan Thornhill for a foul. Just riding his man as he went up the court there. That was Dre Perkins that Juan was guarding.
Just the first foul on Juan.
13, yeah.
Third on the Colonels.
Great minds think alike, or something like that. And Dre Perkins will inbound for the Raiders. Wow, long pass going to Zach Perkins. It's stolen away by Walker Allen, but Walker could not save it from going out of bounds.
Good job by Walker Allen of getting up there and at least knocking that ball away.
Another inbound play coming for the Raiders. 1:46 to play in the half. Subway halftime show to follow this. Plenty of good topics of conversation, including that 10-year state championship reunion that the Colonels have planned coming up. Raiders driving to the lane. That was Dre Perkins. Perkins gets it to go with the right hand. Soft touch right there. Cut the deficit to 10. Colonels lead 32-22. 90 seconds to play.
First basket in quite a while for the Raiders.
Absolutely. They needed that one. Malbeck has it right wing. Now he's driving. Tried to go behind the back dribble and lost it. A lot of contact inside there. Again, no whistle. Malbeck hops up. It's a turnover. Raiders will control it. Tevin Morgan, left wing three. Back iron. No good. Rebounded by Michi Malbeck. Nice job by Michi skying up to control that one. Malbeck will jog it up the court himself. He's driving the lane again. Kick out to Nelson Dews. Now over to Navy Jones in the corner. Navy going to cycle it back out to the top of the key. Nelson Dews has it. 27 feet away from the basket. Little crossover dribble. Dews right hand. Attack the lane momentarily. Michi Malbeck, long three. Couple steps behind the line. No good. Rebounded by Walker Allen. Allen kicks it back out to Navy Jones. Second chance possibility here for the Altavista Colonels. 42 seconds to play in the half. Wouldn't be shocked to see the Colonels hold it this entire time and just put up one shot. Thornhill has it now. Juan, left-hand dribble. Gets it to the right elbow. Now bounce pass over to Navy Jones. Jones will bring it back out to the middle of the court again. 28 seconds to play now in the half. Nelson Dews has it right wing. Really nobody in the paint right now for the Altavista Colonels. It's a 5-out motion offense. Walker Allen has it. Right corner. Now to Navy Jones. Jones took an extra step there. Hopped as he caught it. They're going to whistle him with the traveling violation. 15.4 seconds to play in the Appomattox second quarter. Colonels up by 10. I would imagine, Dave, that the Raiders' conventional wisdom says just hold this basketball a little bit, then put up a shot with maybe 5 or 6 seconds left to go so you don't give the Colonels a chance to score again before halftime.
Chandler Harvey checking in for the Raiders.
I think it's Harvey's first action of the game. Ferguson will bring it up with a left-hand dribble for Appomattox. Gets it to Zach Perkins. Perkins tried to drive in, was stopped by Thornhill. Down to 4 seconds. Raiders got to get a long one up. Morgan does. It's not even close. Thornhill gets the rebound, and he'll put up a desperation shot. It got close to the basket, but wouldn't go in. Colonels trailed after one quarter. They're up by 10 after 2 quarters. Subway halftime show on the way when you come back on 105.5 KD Country.
There are two kinds of country, the good stuff and the real good stuff. We play them both. 105.5 KD Country, WKDE, Altavista, Lynchburg.
Have you looked at your business banking fees lately? I'm Sean Stone with First National Bank, and we have the best business accounts which offer serious savings for your company. We have a full menu of business products from checking accounts and remote deposit capture to online banking. And we have a local merchant card representative who will customize services just for your business. So let First National Bank prepare an analysis of your current activity and show how we will reduce your banking fees. First National Bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
The following is brought to you by English Construction Company.
What do basketball, choir, drama club, and marching band all have in common? They're all high school activities that offer learning opportunities not necessarily found in the classroom. They take up just a fraction of a typical Virginia high school's budget, and they go a long way to giving young people the tools they need to thrive. High school activities, they're more than extracurricular. They're extra important, too.
In the past century, our community has grown, and Finch & Finch Funeral and Cremation Service has grown too, alongside the families they've known for so long. Finch & Finch is proud to have served you over 100 years. A family business, Finch & Finch Funeral and Cremation Service, dedicated to your service.
Finch & Finch Funeral Homes. We're here because we care.
You're listening to award-winning coverage of the Altavista Colonels on 105.5 KD Country.
Stay cool in the summer and warm in the winter. Tyree Little's Heating and Cooling, on the ready to keep you comfortable year-round. Locally owned and operated, just a call away, with over 20 years experience. Licensed and bonded. Tyree Little's Heating and Cooling, specializing in heating, air, plumbing, and electrical, any season, anytime. Tyree Little's Heating and Cooling, keeping you cool in the summer and warm in the winter. Give them a call today. Tyree Little's Heating and Cooling, Gretna.
High school athletics builds character, teaches teamwork, and provides a solid foundation for life. PCM Industrial Services recognizes the importance of high school athletics by sponsoring this sports broadcast for your enjoyment. PCM Industrial Services encourages everyone to come on out and watch the game. It's a great time for the whole family. Cheer on the Colonels. PCM Industrial Services, the industrial maintenance and construction specialists, serving the Mid-Atlantic region with quality craftsmen since 1986. Good luck, Colonels.
This month's specials from your Apple Market convenience stores. Coke 6-pack cans, $1.29 and 24 cans for $6.99. Extra large Lay's chips selling for $3.49. Chicken Parmesan sandwiches and subs special price reduction for January. 8 pieces delicious fried chicken now $7.99 from 4 to 8 p.m. only at Apple Market locations Riverside, Gateway, and Main Street, Altavista. You know what they say, an apple a day keeps the doctor away.
Tonight's game is brought to you by the KD Country Sports Club.
Tyree Little Heating and Cooling in Gretna, keeping you cool in the summer and warm in the winter and comfortable in between.
Sharky's Pest Control. Let Tony take a bite out of your pest control needs. Doing business the old-fashioned way.
Main Street Trading Company Consignment, now open Wednesday through Friday, 11 a.m. till 6 p.m. and Saturday, 9 a.m. till 4.
El Cerrito Mexican Restaurant, Altavista. Throw on a sombrero, shake your maracas. It's El Cerrito time. Authentic Mexican cuisine only at El Cerrito.
Steve Farmer Auto Sales, where there's always a good selection of cars, trucks, SUVs, priced right, financing available. That's Steve Farmer Auto Sales, Main Street, Altavista.
A short drive will save you money.
That's right. A short drive can save you hundreds, maybe thousands. The absolute best selection of new and pre-owned vehicles to choose from. Have a trade? When you make a deal, Feller Chevrolet will pay it off, no matter how much you owe. Slow credit? Don't worry. Drive away today in your new or pre-owned vehicle. Remember, if you didn't purchase your vehicle from Feller Chevrolet, you paid too much for it.
Feller Chevrolet in Altavista.
English is
so much more.
English is
More than a hardware store.
English is
English's is your complete home center. Everything for every job you do. Always here for you.
get the quality you really need. That's English is.
So much more.
English is
More than a hardware store.
English is.
English's is your complete home center.
On North Main Street, Altavista open Saturday 8 to 4.
Good food, low prices, and great service keep customers coming back for more day after day at El Cazador Mexican Restaurant in Altavista. El Cazador is now open all afternoons, so you can buy anytime, any day, 11 a.m. until 10 p.m. El Cazador Mexican Restaurant, a great place to unwind and relax with friends. Open 7 days a week, Main Street, Altavista. El Cazador thanks you for your business and making them the #1 Mexican restaurant in town.
You're listening to award-winning coverage of the Altavista Colonels on 105.5 KD Country.
And we get the old technical difficulties like everybody does, but we'll power through it and bring you the Subway halftime show. Colonels lead 32-22, Dave, in the game that not just fun up here in the press box, it's been fun out there on the court, too.
It has been, particularly for the Altavista Colonels. They scored 17 points in the second quarter of play. The Appomattox Raiders only scored 6 as the Colonels caught 5 in the second period of play and pulled away from the Raiders. And the Colonels playing that up-tempo style with them and coming out on top.
Yeah, the Colonels have played some fast-paced ball here tonight. You know, whether it's fast break points, of course, I think back to Demetrius Johnson getting the big dunk in transition there on the fast break. And the Colonels have definitely had their share of fast break opportunities. Second quarter, really that difference. I mean, like you said, they outscore Appomattox 17-6, I think is what you said. That's big, and I think Coach Cottrell obviously is addressing that in the locker room right now to his guys. He's going to say, hey, we can't have a half like that again. And for the Altavista Colonels, I would imagine Coach Carlero saying, hey, if we just play like that second quarter all the time, we're golden then. But easier said than done, as we all know, and we'll take another timeout to dissect and digest that and so many more things here on the Subway halftime show. Tip-off in the third quarter, right around the corner when you come back. Colonels up 32-22 on 105.5 KD Country.
Man, it's cold in here. What's wrong with your heater?
Well, it used to work pretty good.
Back in the 90s, just call Select Air and get it fixed.
Oh, it'll probably cost a lot of money.
No, it won't, because Donnie will give you a fair price and get it done right the first time.
Maybe I'll call Select Air tomorrow.
No, you will call Select Air today, because it's freezing in here.
Select Air, 841-1580. 841-1580. Online at selectair.webs.com.
If you're like me, life changes, and that brings up financial questions. I'm Vivian Brown of First National Bank, and we're excited to offer a new Financial Answer Center that will help you better understand your own needs. It covers various financial topics, offers free quick guide, and if needed, access to a First National Bank employee. So go to our website at 1stnatbk.com and take a look at the new Financial Answer Center. It's a smart resource that could help you bring home more bacon. First National Bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
In the past century, our community has grown, and Finch & Finch Funeral and Cremation Service has grown too, alongside the families they've known for so long. Finch & Finch is proud to have served you over 100 years. A family business, Finch & Finch Funeral and Cremation Service, dedicated to your service.
Finch and Finch Funeral Homes. We're here because we care.
You're listening to award-winning coverage of the Altavista Colonels on 105.5 KD Country.
Subway halftime show concluding here on 105.5 KD Country, or perhaps at kdcountry.com. Wherever you're listening, we thank you for that. And we know there are Colonel fans all over the place, not just in Altavista, in Central Virginia, and that's the beauty of the Internet. You can thank Walmart in Altavista for that. Save money, live better, Walmart. Colonels with the 10-point lead. Speaking of all over, Dave, we need to mention they scored from all over. Inside with the dunk and the layups from the free throw line, and outside Walker Allen with the three big three-pointers that he hit there in the first half.
I think they kind of loosened things up for the Altavista offense, and the Raiders didn't know just whether to press on the outside or box up in the middle and keep the Colonels out of there. So,
yeah, no, that's a great point, because Appomattox's game plan really had to center around stopping the Johnson brothers. And then when the Colonels did hit the three-pointers from outside, probably did loosen up the interior of the defense a little bit. Demetrius has it on the right block, trying to use his body to get some space. Layup would not go in. It was more of a 5-foot shot attempt rather than a layup, but it did not go in. Good defense by the Appomattox Raiders. They come away with a stop there on the first possession. Zach Perkins driving, 5-footer, will roll in and down. 2 points there for the Raiders. They come out of the locker room well, getting the stop, and then the field goal. 32-24, still an Altavista lead, 8-point lead. Richard Hubbard has it. Left wing, holds it over his head. Pass to Michi Malbeck. Malbeck chest pass to Juan Thornhill. Back to Michi, back to Hubbard. 3-man game on the perimeter right now. Juan driving, pulls up at the right elbow. Passes to Hubbard. Hubbard looking to go down low. It's taken away by the Raiders. He was trying to get it down low to Demetrius Johnson. Raiders defense solid again. 32-24. Colonels lead after 1 minute gone in the third quarter. Morgan has it for the Raiders. He'll back it out. He was backing into Juan Thornhill going towards the basket. Now he's going away from the basket, passing it over to Ferguson. Ferguson, left-handed three-pointer all the way. Front iron, no good. Rebounded by Hubbard. Starters on the court again for the Colonels. Here comes Hubbard very quickly. Gets into the corner to Michi Malbeck. Down low to Darius Johnson. Johnson spinning. Gets two in. Off the front of the rim and down. First point of the half for the Colonels, Dave.
Still lots of contact underneath the basket for both teams.
Ferguson, crossover dribble, bounce pass. Now to Tevin Morgan. Morgan flashing the lane. Nice little handoff back to Ferguson. Now to Blankenship. Blankenship, three-pointer, down. Good shot there by Kendall Blankenship. As Appomattox flashing through the middle of the lane, and then the kick out for the three-pointer works effectively right there against the Colonel defense. Demetrius Johnson has the free throw line, bounce pass to brother Darius, low block, back to brother Demetrius. Demetrius, mid-range jam going in. Nice shot by Demetrius Johnson. 36-27.
Altavista on top.
9-point Colonel advantage. Under 6 minutes to play now in the Apple Market third quarter. That's Khalil McCoy with it. Now over to Tevin Morgan. Morgan, stutter step, running the baseline, trying to go up and under, but it was blocked by Darius Johnson. They get ahead to Demetrius, look out below. Demetrius trying for the slam again. He is fouled by Zach Perkins. I think Perkins gives him the 05 and the foul on the back to show that it wasn't anything intentional or malicious. Dunk did not go down, and now Demetrius Johnson will go back to the free throw line.
So the Colonels maintaining their advantage here as we start the third quarter of play. Appomattox stepping up the tempo, trying to cut into the Colonels' lead.
Yeah, great defensive stand there. It started with the Darius Johnson block. Hubbard got it, and he pitched it ahead very quickly to Demetrius Johnson. Johnson fouled, ends up on the free throw line. First one goes in for Demetrius Johnson. Second one on the way. Colonels lead by 10, 37-27.
Cold winter's night. Hope you're enjoying the ball game. It's hot stuff here in Altavista.
It is. It's not too late to get down here if you're just riding around looking for something to do. Good basketball game here, even though the Colonels are up 10. Lane violation on the Colonels there. Free throw was no good, but it wouldn't have counted because of the lane violation anyway. Appomattox basketball. Blankenship bringing it ahead for the Raiders. Directing traffic a little bit as he picked up his dribble. Ferguson had to save him from going back court. Nice athletic play. Got it to Morgan. Morgan driving. Up and under layup goes in from the right-hand block right there. Good job by Morgan on a play where Appomattox looked like they were going to get whistled for backcourt. Ferguson saves it. Morgan does the rest on a nice individual effort. Thornhill, stutter step, hesitation, throws it overhead to Hubbard. Hubbard, three-pointer from the left wing. No good. This rebound is still loose. Now it's controlled by Blankenship. Blankenship going to get fouled as he was getting ready to run the court. And this will stop play with 5:03. Colonels lead by 8, 37-29. Walker Allen checking in the game for Demetrius Johnson. Foul is on Demetrius, and he's got 3 now, Dave.
And there's quite a battle going on between Juan Thornhill and Tevin Morgan. They're on each other on both ends of the court and banging around on each other out there.
A lot of good individual battles going on right now. Ferguson has it. He's guarded by Malbeck. Ferguson driving, went up with the right hand layup, got it in. Ferguson is a left-handed shooter, but he switched over to the right hand to make that layup off the glass and in. And he's headed to the free throw line. Let's see what his foul is on for the Altavista Colonels. It's on number 2, Juan Thornhill. His second. 2 team fouls for the Altavista Colonels this half, Dave. 4:55 to play in the quarter.
The Apple Market third quarter of play with the Colonels leading 37-31.
37-32 now. Free throw goes in for Chicago Ferguson. Ferguson is a senior, and he's been a thorn in the side of the Altavista Colonels really for as long as he's been a member of this varsity team. Nelson Dews has it for Altavista. He's in the game now. Michi Malbeck will take a three from dead ahead. No good. Rebounded by Thornhill. Thornhill, couple dribbles, back up. His shot wouldn't go in. Altavista tries to save it, and Blankenship comes out of there with it for the Raiders. Here comes Ferguson. Lost the basketball. Basketball still loose. Ferguson got it back somehow. And now he'll pull up for three. Good. Chicago Ferguson. Strange-looking play, and it's not a play that you would ever draw up on the chalkboard, but it works out for the Raiders, Dave.
Hit it on the baseline for the Raiders.
37-35. Here come the Raiders. It's just a 2-point Colonel lead now. Malbeck has it. He wants to slow things down. He's 2 steps in front of half court, standing right there on the elbow of the Altavista Colonel mascot. Bounce pass to Darius Johnson, top of the key. It goes down low to Thornhill. Thornhill converts by all 5 Appomattox Raider players there, but he is fouled. And he will head to the free throw stripe. No, they'll say it's on the floor, so the Colonels will inbound under their own basket.
Colonels trying to stem this Raider rally.
Yeah, Colonels could use some momentum. First quarter, the Raiders led 16-15. Second quarter was all Colonels. Grant Paulette checking in the game now, along with, I think, Drake Perkins, number 14, Dave.
I think that's right.
Lob play coming. Thornhill slipped as he was going up, and the Raiders come away with it. Ferguson quickly down the court, and he is fouled. I think they're going to get Walker Allen for this one. Ferguson was in the act of shooting. You know, Malbeck and Juan Thornhill tried that same lob play on the out-of-bounds play that they've been trying a lot. This time, Juan never could get his footing as he was going up to get the basketball.
Yeah, it's a good play if you can pull it off, but that time misfired for Altavista.
Free throw off by Ferguson, and then now it's a 1-point deficit for Appomattox. Colonels lead 37-36, 3:54 to play in the Apple Market third quarter. Apple Market, a proud sponsor of the Altavista Colonels and high school sports fans everywhere. Second free throw again. We got a tie ball game, 37-37. Thornhill's got that look in his eye again, Dave, that determination. He races this one up the court, directing traffic just a little bit. Shake and bake, the hesitation move, hands it off to Walker Allen. That's a screen for Allen. Now Allen looking to get it to Michi Malbeck. He does. Michi down low to Darius Johnson on the lob pass. Darius, turnaround jumper, 5-feet, and it's good. Good play right there by the Colonels to snatch the lead back, 39-37. Ball movement was solid, and Darius got it in close where he likes it from about 5 feet. Takes the jumper. Appomattox basketball. Here comes Drake Perkins. Perkins right-hand dribble. Boy, he is guarded really close by Thornhill. Perkins has got to give it up. He hits the floor as he does. Chicago Ferguson has it now. Pull up 3. No good. Rebounded by Juan Thornhill. Thornhill controls and look at him weaving in and out of the defense now. Behind the back dribble. Right hand now over to Allen. Allen to Nelson Dews. Right wing. Dews 3 ball. No good. Back iron. Rebounded by Appomattox. Good stuff right here from Altavista tonight. Perkins running the fast break. Bounce passes to Paulette. Now back to Blankenship. Blankenship will hand it off to Paulette. Paulette crossover dribble. Thought about a 3 that he lost on the pass. Darius Johnson has it, gets it out to Michi Malbeck. Malbeck with the layup, good. Colonels with a full point advantage now, 41-37. Ferguson the other way quickly, and he's fouled. Shot wouldn't go in. He gets helped up by a couple Altavista players.
Colonels had a 10-point lead at halftime. The Raiders have battled back and given the Colonels all they want here in the third quarter of play. The Colonels trying to pull back in front.
Ferguson to the free throw line again. First one up, first one in for Chicago Ferguson of the Appomattox Raiders. Navy Jones checks into the game now for the Altavista Colonels. For the home team on the court, you've got Jones, Juan Thornhill, Walker Allen, Michi Malbeck, and I believe, Darius Johnson on the low block there. Second free throw up, rattled around. Took a lot of time on the rim, then it finally fell in for one more basket.
41-39, Colonels.
2.5 to play now in the third quarter. Michi pulls up at the left elbow, passing to Thornhill, left wing. Now Juan trying to drive the baseline. He's fouled on the floor. And the foul is going to go against Who is it on? Let's see. It's going to be on number 14, and that's Trey Perkins.
Malbeck inbounds under his own basket.
Gets it to Darius Johnson. Johnson will just hand it right back off to Michi Malbeck. Malbeck right hand, flashing middle of the lane. He is fouled. Oh, Chicago Ferguson thought he had the jump ball. Looked like he had a big handful of Michi's jersey, though, too. They're going to say Michi in the act of shooting, so he'll shoot a pair of free throws for the Altavista Colonels. 2:29 to play. Altavista up 2 over the Appomattox Raiders.
Tight ball game now between these two teams.
First free throw goes down for Michi Malbeck. Boy, Michi's been good all year from the charity stripe. And, that's a place that he was really good at in the playoffs last year, too, down the stretch. I mean, Michi made a lot of big free throws. Big quarterfinal action comes to mind when Michi hit 4 free throws, I think, in the last minute and a half. This one off back iron and no good. Rattled around off the front of the iron, too. Rebounded by the Raiders at Chicago Ferguson again. Ferguson short pass to Paulette. Paulette lost it momentarily. Now they get it to Drake Perkins. Perkins with a runner inside, no good. Rebounded by big number 21. That's Marquise Morgan. He sticks it up and in. Tie ball game. No, 42-41. Colonels still do have the 1-point lead. Couple Colonels late getting back into the front court there. Michi Malbeck has the basketball. He'll wait for him. Bounce pass to Darius Johnson now. 2 feet away from the three-point line. Now over to Thornhill. Thornhill, baseline. Stops. He's cut off by Ferguson. Pulls up for a short jump shot. Won't go in. Rebounded by Morgan and the Raiders. Colonels with the 1-point lead. Here comes Chicago Ferguson. He lost it. Got it back again. Boy, he has a knack for that. Time out on the court. Coach Cottrell calls it. Ferguson and Thornhill all tangled up. They both get helped up. And we'll take a timeout with them. 30-second variety here. Colonels lead by 1. 42-41. 1 minute and 39 seconds to play in the third quarter on 105.5 KD Country.
Stay cool in the summer and warm in the winter. Tyree Little's Heating and Cooling on the ready to keep you comfortable year-round. Locally owned and operated, just a call away with over 20 years experience. Licensed and bonded. Tyree Little's Heating and Cooling, specializing in heating, air, plumbing, and electrical. Any season, anytime. Tyree Little's Heating and Cooling, keeping you cool in the summer and warm in the winter. Give them a call today. Tyree Little's Heating and Cooling, Gretna.
You're listening to award-winning coverage of the Altavista Colonels on 105.5 KD Country.
Colonels with the 1-point lead at home on 105.5 KD Country. Dave, frantic, really 4 or 5 minutes of basketball there by both teams back and forth. I mean, the Colonels had a 10-point lead. That got erased, and they got a lead back, and that got erased. They're up 1 now.
Well, if you watch the sports tonight on 11, I see Mr. Campbell down at the end of the basketball court here. John Campbell taking some pictures for WSET.
Inbound play coming for the Raiders. Blankenship has it. They just hand it off to Tevin Morgan. Now Chicago Ferguson, right wing for 3. Count it. Long arcing 3 right there. Ferguson really skyballing that one. Gets it in. It's an Appomattox Raider lead again, 44-42. Colonel basketball. Malbeck has it. Just in front of the half-court circle, just handed off to Juan Thornhill. Thornhill controlling. He is in the half-court circle now. Hands it off to Walker Allen. Michi Malbeck thought about a 3 from the left wing. Good low pass to Darius Johnson. Johnson, turnaround jumper. He's fouled by Ferguson. Johnson shot no good. Headed to the free throw line for a pair.
Good battle between these two teams, the Raiders and the Colonels, tonight at Altavista High School. Dave Haney along with Kyle Haney in the play-by-play. With 1:04 to go, and then the Apple Market third quarter.
Free throw goes in for Darius Johnson. Hubbard back in the game. He'll join Darius Johnson, Juan Thornhill, Michi Malbeck, and Navy Jones on the court right now for the Raiders. Kendall Blankenship, Trey Perkins, Tevin Morgan, Chicago Ferguson, and Marquise Morgan. Second one, no good. A little too strong there for Darius Johnson, and it's rebounded by the Appomattox Raiders. Perkins has it. Gets it over to Ferguson, middle of the court. Ferguson driving. Overhead pass to Blankenship. Blankenship's 3 ball, no good, but it's rebounded by Chicago Ferguson. Tevin Morgan thought about a 3. He took too many steps. Little stutter step there from the right wing. Turnover. Basketball headed back to the Colonels. 47 seconds to play. Altavista trailing by 1, 44-43.
They Navy Jones will inbound it. Thornhill gets it up court to Michi Malbeck. Malbeck back to Thornhill at the top of the circle.
Juan just wants to hold on to it. Nobody within about 10 or 15 feet of Juan, so no 5-second count. Juan can hold as long as he likes. Now he'll initiate, gets a little screen from Darius Johnson, passed over to Malbeck, right back to Juan Thornhill. Juan going to back it out again, reset this offensive play. 20 seconds to play now in the Apple Market third quarter. Colonels look to be holding for one last shot. Darius Johnson, middle of the court, now gets it into Michi Malbeck, left wing. Michi thought about driving the lane. Now he will. Good hop step there. Shot was altered and no good. Here comes Ferguson for the Raiders. Gets over to Morgan. Morgan driving. Navy Jones trying to take a charge. He did. No, they're going to say the foul. Let's wait and see.
Now, that's going to be a tough call.
Yep, they are going to call the foul charge on Devin Morgan. Good job by Navy Jones to really get his feet planted there and take the foul. Colonel basketball, 3.7 seconds left. Got to go the full 90 feet to get to their scoring basket, though. Thornhill will inbound. Looking for a long baseball pass. He gets it to Darius Johnson. Now it's taken away by Devin Morgan. Morgan throws it up. It hits the ceiling, and we still actually have 1.1 seconds left. And what now it seems like the quarter that will never end. Colonels will get the inbound at half court, though, Dave. So really 1.1 seconds. They could catch and get a shot off here. It wouldn't necessarily have to be that long of a shot. Juan gets it into Malbeck. Malbeck shows on half court line for three. No good. It was just short. Colonels let it halftime. They trail by one again, 44-43. One more quarter of regulation here for Altavista on 105.5 KD Country.
High school athletics builds character, teaches teamwork, and provides a solid foundation for life. PCM Industrial Services recognizes the importance of high school athletics by sponsoring this sports broadcast for your enjoyment. PCM Industrial Services encourages everyone to come on out and watch the game. It's a great time for the whole family. Cheer on the Colonels. PCM Industrial Services, the industrial maintenance and construction specialists, serving the Mid-Atlantic region with quality craftsmen since 1986. Good luck, Colonels.
You're listening to award-winning coverage of the Altavista Colonels on 105.5 KD Country.
Back here from Altavista High School, Colonels trailed by one to end the first quarter, Dave. They trailed by one to end the third quarter. I guess the question will be, is the second quarter going to be anything like the fourth quarter for the Altavista Colonels, or maybe vice versa, fourth quarter going to play out like the second did?
Game of runs in each quarter. The Raiders scoring 22 points in the third quarter. The Altavista Colonels only scoring 11, as opposed to the second quarter when the Colonels scored 17 and the Raiders scored 6. So this we'll have to see how it plays out here in the final quarter of play.
Well, we both thought that Juan Thornhill was a big key in Altavista's taking the lead there in the second quarter. Let's see what he has to say here in the fourth quarter. It's going to be a total team effort, though, that's for sure. We'll see if Juan leads the charge again. Appomattox basketball to start this fourth quarter. They lead by one. Blankenship has it. Circling the defense. Now middle of the lane, 10-foot runner. Won't go in. Rebound is loose. Now it's controlled by Darius Johnson. Good job by the big man using his body. Good long pass by Thornhill, and Michi had to save it in bounds. And Michi, I don't know if he was throwing it towards the rim or throwing it to Demetrius Johnson, but it didn't reach either, and it goes out of bounds. Turnover back to Appomattox.
The pass to Michi was a little long. He was losing his balance as he was going out of bounds and had to get rid of the ball.
7:37 to play in the Apple Market fourth quarter. Raider basketball. Marquise Morgan has it, right wing, toes on the three-point line now. Middle of the court, he'll dump it back out to Dre Perkins. Perkins chest pass over to Ferguson. Ferguson, nice bounce pass down low to Morgan. It's blocked from the backside. Darius Johnson, the eraser down low there. And here comes Michi Malbeck. He's in a hurry. He gets fouled as he's going up for two. Michi's going to head to the free throw line. Good job there by Darius Johnson. The big block. That starts the fast break. Michi gets it down very quickly.
I don't know, maybe it's just me, but some of the Colonels look a little tired, and the Raiders have plenty of energy.
No, it's not just you. I was so tired I had to take a drink of water there, and you caught me in the middle of that. But, no, you're right. I mean, the Colonels haven't substituted a lot. But, you know, normally this is a team that I don't think fitness has ever come into question for them. Coach Carlero always has his teams really in condition. But tonight, I think you're right. It looks like the Raiders have a lot more energy. Both free throws converted by Michi Malbeck. Second one went around the world and then down and in. So it's a one-point Colonel lead again, 45-44. We'll see what happens as far as the conditioning and the physical fitness go as the rest of this game concludes here. Blankenship has it, a little behind the back dribble. Now he picks up his dribble to Ferguson. Ferguson driving the middle of the lane. No good. Taken away by Darius Johnson again. Darius alters his shot. It's not blocked it. Then he got what was left of it. Thornhill, middle of the lane, slashing. Layup, no good. Rebounded by Demetrius Johnson. Great job by Demetrius. Right place, right time. Now it's back to a three-point Altavista lead. Here comes Morgan. Morgan up on their layup. No good. Rebounded by Darius Johnson. Carls really could be threatening to blow the game open again. Thornhill, middle of the lane. Stop and start move. Gets it to the left hand and now. Nice. Yeah, very nice play right there. Coach Control wants the timeout. We'll take it with him. 30-second timeout. Colonels have got the lead back by 5, 49-44. 6.5 to play here on 105.5 KD Country.
This month's specials from your Apple Market convenience stores. Coke 6-pack cans, $1.29 and 24 cans for $6.99. Extra large Lay's chips selling for $3.49. Chicken Parmesan sandwiches and subs special price reduction for January. 8 pieces delicious fried chicken now $7.99 from 4 to 8 p.m. only at Apple Market locations Riverside, Gateway, and Main Street, Altavista. You know what they say, an apple a day keeps the doctor away.
You're listening to award-winning coverage of the Altavista Colonels on 105.5 KD Country.
(49-44). The Colonel lead again from Altavista High School. And boy, great finish there on the transition play by Juan Thornhill, Dave, that prompted the timeout. He went through that defense, sidestepping people, running around people, and then the great left hand there at the end to cap it off.
They're really getting the ball in Juan Thornhill's hands, and he's bringing it up court and putting pressure on that Appomattox defense.
Hey, he's very good about keeping his eyes up as he's dribbling. And he can go full speed and still do that, too. It's pretty impressive. Blankenship, three-pointer from the corner. No good. This rebound still getting tipped around. Darius Johnson fighting for it. Appomattox got it back. That's Dre Perkins who came away with it. And then he lost it. It's off of Dre Perkins. Out of bounds. Altavista ball.
And not only is Juan controlling the ball up the court, but the Johnson brothers are taking care of the rebounds on both ends.
Great point. Johnson are really wiping that glass clean for the Altavista Colonels tonight, particularly here in this fourth quarter. Ball back. One-hand pass over to Richard Hubbard. Hubbard overhead pass back to Michi. 6 minutes to play now. 5-point Colonel lead. Michi, free-throw line, jump shot. No good. Nice rebound by Darius Johnson, but he lost it. He's got it right back. Pitches it to his brother Demetrius. Off the window. Great job right there by the brothers Johnson. Darius got the rebound and lost it momentarily, but got it back, and he just shoveled it off to his brother on the other block. Raider basketball. Ferguson has it now to Blankenship. Blankenship, and it's taken away by Thornhill. Thornhill's got to run out. Look out below. And he got fouled hard. He got fouled hard by Blankenship. Blankenship came up and under him. They are going to call this an intentional foul. Long was going for the two-handed jam. He came down the left side of the lane. He came down hard on his shoulder as Blankenship really just came right up under him. I don't know if there was anything malicious by Blankenship. I don't know if he was trying to block the dunk or he was just trying to create some physical contact or not. But Juan came down hard on it. It looked like that right or left shoulder. Well, it had to be either the right or left, Dave. But he came down hard in one of his shoulders.
He hit hard, and I think it was more trying to block the dunk than anything else. But good, hard basketball between these competitors. So the Colonels leading here 44, excuse me. With, 5 minutes and something, 5:30 to go.
Yeah. Thornhill's still down. He's getting looked at by Angela Emerson.
That's under the Altavista basket.
Yeah, it's
Juan, he got up on his own and then seemed to, they thought maybe it's best that he go back down to the floor.
Yeah, great point right there. Juan, he wanted to just hop right back up. Yeah. But everybody ran over and said, well, why don't you just stay down for a second? Juan shaking his head saying he's all right to his teammates. He is going to come out. Coach Carlisle will get to put whatever substitute he wants to go in there and shoot the free throw. So this is a nice, obviously you don't want to have one of your better players hurt, so it is nice to have the option of choosing the free throw shooter. And it looks like he's going to put Walker Allen in. Again, the play, Thornhill got a steal at the Appomattox three-point line. He had to run out. Blankenship was about, 2 or 3 feet behind him, more in the middle of the lane. Thornhill was coming up the left side of the lane. They met right there at the side of the rim. And Juan got the dunk, it really went in and out.
Yeah.
And almost went down. But then it did rattle out. First free throw for Walker Allen will rattle out.
Blankenship had a good angle on Juan to cut off the attempt at the dunk. So Walker Allen missed the first one.
Yep. And again, 5:31 to play here in the Apple Market fourth quarter. 51-44. Second free throw on the way by Allen is converted. So the Colonels will also get the basketball back because of the intentional foul situation.
Juan trying to shake it off, acts a little bit stiff from hitting the floor that hard.
Yeah. Yeah, I got to imagine that it feels like being in a car wreck. I mean, when you're up there, I mean, I guess Juan's whole body wasn't up there at 10 feet, Dave, but, you know, his head was up in the net at least, so you figure you're 7 feet up off the ground, and you come crashing down. And the hardwood is not exactly as forgiving as the football field is out there. And you got pads on out there, too. Colonel basketball on the inbound. Michi Malbeck going to run around the right side of the defense, directing some traffic, standing just one step from the sideline. Now he passes to Walker out in the middle of the court over to Hubbard. Hubbard down low to Demetrius Johnson. Johnson backing his guy down. He'll go back to Hubbard. Hubbard, three-pointer on the way. No good. Rebound by Walker Allen. Good shot by Walker Allen right there. All the way for the rebound and points off the missed shot. And Juan, look at this. At the scorer's table, Dave, he's ready to check back in the ball game. You know, he must be feeling okay. Morgan driving the middle of the lane off the glass and in. Wanted some foul contact, too. Didn't get it. Nice play by Tevin Morgan. Little speed off the window. 54-46. Malbeck throwing up a shot. He is fouled. He will go to the free throw line. Basket didn't go in.
I was going to say, good defense by Richard Hubbard, even though Altavista made the Appomattox made the basket. Hubbard was all over his hands.
Yeah, tough game for you to just come off the bench cold, too. With both teams being with the A name, Appomattox and Altavista. I always mess that up myself. Malbeck's first free throw in. Colonels have stretched it out to a 9-point lead, 55-46. 4:48 to play here in the Apple Market fourth quarter. Remember, all three locations have everything you need to get your weekend started right. I don't know if you want cold drinks on a night like tonight, but I'm sure you can get something that'll heat you up.
They've got some hot drinks in there, too. Cappuccino, coffee.
Right. Second free throw down by Michi Malbeck. So Michi continues to do very well from the charity stripe. 10-point lead again for the Altavista Colonels. 4:40 to play. Raiders will walk the basketball up. This is Chicago Ferguson. Chest pass over to Dre Davis. Davis picks up his dribble. He finds Tevin Morgan cutting the middle of the lane. No good. Nice pass to get it to him, but they couldn't convert. And Darius Johnson gets the rebound. Thornhill going to bring it up. He's back in the game, shaking off the injury. Driving the middle of the lane. Nobody stopped him. First shot wouldn't go in. Got his little rebound and stuck it back up for two. Juan physically appears to be fine. 2 more points for Thornhill. 2 more points for the Colonel. They lead by 12. And traveling violation now on number 11, Zach Perkins. 1 too many steps, another turnover. And it really is a lot like what happened in the second quarter, Dave. Appomattox had the lead, they lost it, and then the Colonels just stretched out their lead.
So there's Juan Thornhill with the ball again.
Just walks in front of half court. Fast move, then he pulls it back out. Gets it over to Malbeck. Malbeck to Demetrius Johnson, middle of the court. Motion offense by the Colonels. They got everybody stretched out. Malbeck thought about driving to the basket. Now he'll back it back out. 3-point line. Bounce pass over to Thornhill. Steps in front of the half-court line. Overhead pass to Darius Johnson. Cross court. Johnson just holds it. Hadn't used his dribble yet. Now he gets it over to Michi Malbeck. Malbeck, same thing. He will put it on the court. Not a lot of pressure here right now by the Raiders, though. They've got to administer that 5-second count and make Altavista do something with the basketball, Dave. I mean, they can't just let the Colonels run out the clock here.
And Carvalho says, let's spread it out.
3-pointer on the way, no good from Allen, but it finds the hands of Juan Thornhill. Thornhill drops it in for 2.
And that's what we were talking about earlier, what an integral part of this team Juan Thornhill can be. He can take charge when he wants to.
That's exactly right. 58-46. I think the 3-pointer, I think the shot by Thornhill was no good. There was a foul somewhere. Yeah, it was a foul on Darius Johnson away from the basketball, Dave. So wipe those points for Thornhill off. Still 58-46, still 12 points Colonel lead, 3.5 to play. One-handed bounce pass finds Chicago Ferguson, 15 feet from the basket. Now he gets to the free throw line from the right side of the court. No good. Over to Blankenship, and wow. Rebound went up. Michi Malbeck hit the deck hard. Now it's rebounded by Demetrius Johnson, and they're going to get a foul on Appomattox foot. Michi's got up for his rebound, and he got knocked down hard.
And he's slow getting up.
He pointed at his left arm there, and he's kind of holding it a little gingerly as he walks over. We thought might have hurt one of his shoulders. It looks like Michi might have hurt one of his. He takes the seat. On the court right now, Navy Jones has not come in the game yet for the injured Michi Malbec. Yeah.
And it looks to me like Michi's got a little pain.
Yeah, I think you're right. Maybe we'll check in the game now. First free throw good by Demetrius Johnson. Wild stuff here, and it's always, as you know, David, really hard to describe on the radio when some weird things happen like that.
Good battle, though, between these two teams. We've seen it in football, baseball, and now basketball, of course.
Yep. A lot of great athletes out there for both ball clubs. Second free throw down for Demetrius Johnson. Colonels continue to do well from the charity stripe when they've gotten there. Appomattox basketball. Trail by 14 now, 60-46. 3 minutes exactly to play. Morgan, overhead pass to Blankenship. Blankenship lost it momentarily, got it back. Picks up his dribble. He's guarded by Juan Thornhill. Gets it down low to Marquise Morgan. That is blocked by Dexterius Johnson. Ooh, and then Morgan went in there to get it back, and they're going to call a jump ball. Mutual possession tie-up. Possession error will favor the Altavista Colonels, though.
Real wrestling match there over the jump ball.
Yeah, it was. Good hard battle. Now full court pressure being employed by the Appomattox Raiders. Colonels going to have to break the press. Navy Jones, short chest pass to Juan Thornhill. Thornhill now back to Jones, and they finally do break the timeline. Navy being guarded tightly, now double team to get to Juan Thornhill. Timeout was called by Mike Carlero. Let's take it with him. 30-second timeout here. Colonels lead 60-46. 2 minutes and 37 seconds to play in the ball game on 105.5 KD Country.
This month's specials from your Apple Market convenience stores. Coke 6-pack cans, $1.29 and 24 cans for $6.99. Extra large Lay's chips selling for $3.49. Chicken Parmesan sandwiches and subs special price reduction for January. 8 pieces delicious fried chicken now $7.99 from 4 to 8 p.m. only at Apple Market locations Riverside, Gateway, and Main Street, Altavista. You know what they say, an apple a day keeps the doctor away.
To 46 is your Altavista Colonel lead. Dave, you and I were discussing it. Seems like just a split second ago, Appomattox had a lead, and this was a close ball game. You look up, it's a 14-point Colonel advantage in the blink of an eye.
A little hard to explain. Colonels did that in the second quarter also.
Well, second and fourth quarters have been good. Michi Malbec loses it, taken right away by DJ Smith and the Appomattox Raiders. Malbec comes back with a big block, sending it away, but Appomattox is going to get it back. Nice recovery there by Michi Malbec after losing it. Foul. Blankenship falls to the deck. And this might be on either Juan Thornhill or Demetrius Johnson. 16 foul on the Altavista Colonels. It's 4 on Demetrius Johnson.
Coach Cottrell not happy with the call, working the referees a little bit. I'm not sure I would disagree with him completely.
Well, yeah, sometimes guys have a point. Doesn't mean you have to agree or disagree, though, right?
Yeah.
16 fouls on the Altavista Colonels. 4 on Demetrius Johnson. He's going to stay out there on the court, so the next one, and that will do it for him. He's got to be careful. Morgan flashing to the lane. He is held by Michi Malbec, so he'll go to the free throw line and shoot a pair. Morgan very quickly with the jump step, trying to get to the basket. Michi was standing in his way.
Michi and Morgan having a little discussion as Morgan goes to the free throw line.
First foul on Michi Malbec. Yeah, Michi is one of those guys that we've talked about on the airwaves before. You got to love him. He's a spark plug, and he tends to carry an ongoing conversation with the other team throughout the game. First free throw good by Tevin Morgan.
That's just the way some guys like to play. That it's a way to keep their energy up and be involved in the game.
Yeah, some guys are like that. Lee Trevino is like that on the golf course. He said, if I'm not talking and having a good time, then I'm not comfortable. I can't be one of those guys like Tiger Woods that's just in a zone and doesn't say anything. Michi's kind of the same way. Both free throws converted by the Raiders. They trail by 12. Michi had his back to the left and actually hit the rim. Darius Johnson gets a loose ball. Johnson puts it up, and he is fouled hard. Right because the glasses off. Yeah. Seen that a few times this year. Darius will head to the free throw line. Shoot 2. Colonels lead 60-48. 1:58 to play here in the Apple Market fourth quarter. Johnson's first free throw on the way in and out, no good. Maybe I jinxed the Colonels earlier when I said they were doing so well from the free throw line.
The Johnson brothers carrying seen a few fouls between them.
Yeah. Second free throw on the way is good. On the court right now for the Colonels are those aforementioned Johnson brothers, Juan Thornhill, Michi Malbeck, and Richard Hubbard. Those are the starters for Altavista. Coach Carvalho really has not employed his bench a whole lot today.
That was Walker Allen getting a bunch of playing time, particularly earlier in the ball game.
Hit the big threes. Davy Jones is sitting there a little bit, and Nelson Dews a little bit.
And that's it. There's 7, 8 guys on the Altavista bench. I'm sorry, 7. I'll learn to count.
One of these days. Three-pointer on the way for the Raiders. Side of the iron, no good. They control the rebound, though. Hubbard had it momentarily. Putting it back up, that's Drake Perkins. And Perkins will go to the free throw line and shoot a pair. He was fouled in the process of shooting. 18 fouls now on the Altavista Colonels. I think this is on Hubbard, I believe.
10 fouls, first foul on Richard Hubbard. 10 fouls for the Appomattox Raiders team in this half.
1:43 to go in this ball game. If Appomattox has a serious, legitimate chance of getting back in, they're going to have to knock down these free throws. They did not make the first one there. Drake Perkins has another one on the way.
61-48 Colonels.
Second free throw. Back iron, then front iron, and it went down. Full court pressure again from Appomattox. Thornhill gets it in calmly, looking at that defense. Bounce passes it across court to Hubbard. Hubbard holding it over his head. They get it to Darius. Separates the timeline. Darius over to brother Demetrius. Demetrius double teamed, looking for somewhere to go. He'll go to the basket. Driving, going up to the layup. No call there as Drake Perkins tried to take the charge. Minute and a half to play. Colonels leading 53-49. Blankenship. Fading, turnaround jumper. No good. Rebound is loose. Rebound is controlled by Richard Hubbard and the Colonels. Gets it over to Malbeck. Looks like Altavista maybe now is going to get to run this thing out, Dave. 1:09 to play. Let's see if Appomattox decides to foul or not. They trail by 14. Colonels up 53-49. Demetrius, 10 feet away from the basket on the baseline, just throws it back out to half court to Michi Malbeck. Colonels just going to run it out. No intention really of scoring, although Darius has an intention as he is fouled in the act of shooting.
The Johnson brothers love to score.
Right. As soon as I said that, I had a feeling that somebody was going to put a shot up, and Darius tried to do just that. He would have put the shot up if he wasn't fouled. There goes a free throw. I don't get a chance to score there. 5 fouls on Blankenship, so Kendall Blankenship's night is done a little bit early. And DJ Smith will check back in the game now for the Raiders.
63-49, Altavista leading.
First free throw, front iron, no good by Darius Johnson. He'll get a chance to try for the second one. Again, Colonels in action tomorrow at Rustburg. Special start time for that one. JV is going to tip off at 2. So the varsity will probably be tipping off around 4, and that means Subway pregame show on the air around, 3:15, 3:30. A long three-pointer on the way from Ferguson, no good. Air ball, bounces out of bounds. That one was really long. He was closer to half court than he was at three-point line.
Raiders going to have to hit some threes here if they want to get back in it.
Yeah, and even that might not be enough. Michi Malbeck gets to the half court, turns, breaks the defensive pressure, putting up a layup, hit the side of the backboard, but he was fouled. Now Michi headed to the free throw line with the stop and play. 37.1 left. Colonels with the 64-49 lead. You tuned in late. Raiders led at the end of 1. Colonels led at halftime. Raiders led at the end of the third quarter. And the Colonels lead now, so it's really been a tale of the odd and even quarters. Even numbered quarters have gone to the Colonels, quarters 2nd and 4. And the odd numbered quarters have gone to the Raiders. But Altavista has just been that much better in their quarters. Free throw good by Michi. Second one on the way. Slight bend at the knees. Converts that. Nothing but net. Michi, again, continues to be real solid from the charity stripe. Raiders basketball, now they lose it. Darius Johnson picks it up. Short little handoff to Michi Malbeck. Malbeck now double-teamed on the sideline. Losing the basketball. Raiders come out of there with it. Now the ball is loose. Wild play again. Ferguson running out of there. 7-foot runner on the way. Gets it in off the back of the iron. 2 more points for Ferguson and the Raiders.
66-51.
Down to 15 seconds now. Michi will break the timeline. He's just going to try to run this out, but he's fouled. He won't have the opportunity. It's on number 23, Chicago Ferguson. So Michi Malbeck heading back to the free throw line. He's been there a bunch in the second half, Dave. I wonder if they're going to start making Michi pay some rent down there at the free throw line or not.
That's a good point.
At least buy pizza once a week or something.
Well, and we were talking earlier about the schedule and how much the Colonels, how many games they have in the next few days. It's interesting to see
10 in a row. Yeah, because like we mentioned, Colonels haven't gone very deep into that bench. It's been mainly just those starting five. The starting five is out there now. We're under 5 seconds to play. Morgan's going to get up a desperation, too, to end the basketball game. Here's the buzzer. Nobody really trying for the rebound there at the end, and the Colonels going to win. It's a big win, but it was hard fought. 58-51 over the Appomattox Raiders. One more post-game show on the way when you come back on 105.5 KD Country.
Good food, low prices, and great service keep customers coming back for more day after day at El Cazador Mexican Restaurant in Altavista. El Cazador is now open all afternoons, so you can buy anytime, any day, 11 a.m. until 10 p.m. El Cazador Mexican Restaurant, a great place to unwind and relax with friends. Open 7 days a week, Main Street, Altavista. El Cazador thanks you for your business and making them the #1 Mexican restaurant in town.
A short drive will save you money.
That's right. A short drive can save you hundreds, maybe thousands. The absolute best selection of new and pre-owned vehicles to choose from. Have a trade? When you make a deal, Feller Chevrolet will pay it off, no matter how much you owe. Slow credit? Don't worry. Drive away today in your new or pre-owned vehicle. Remember, if you didn't purchase your vehicle from Feller Chevrolet, you paid too much for it.
Feller Chevrolet in Altavista. English is
So much more.
English is
More than a hardware store.
English
is your complete home center.
Everything for every job you do. Always here for you.
Get the quality you really need. That's English is.
So much more.
English is
More than a hardware store.
English is
is your complete home center.
On North Main Street, Altavista, open Saturday 8 to 4.
You're listening to award-winning coverage of the Altavista Colonels on 105.5 KD Country.
Subway post-game show begins with the Altavista Colonels with the big win here. 68-51 over the Appomattox Raiders. I'm Kyle Haney with Dave Haney. Kenny Hunt has exited the building. It's like Elvis. You always got to say that. And Lee Cameron back at home base making us sound good despite our little technical hiccups. It's been a fun night, Dave. I don't know if it was necessarily the kind of fun that Mike Carolero likes to have in his free time. Maybe that was why he's got some of those gray hairs he was referencing in the pregame interview. But it's a win nonetheless for the Altavista Colonels, although sure they'd like to clean up a few things. But fun game from our perspective, from a fan's perspective.
Was last Saturday that the Colonels played last time out with, of course, the cold weather and the school cancellations in between. A lot of games coming up. But this game, if you didn't follow it all the way through, it was 15-16 in favor of Appomattox at the end of the first quarter. Then at the second quarter, the Altavista Colonels built a 32-22 lead. That's a 10-point lead. The Raiders battled back in the third quarter of play to lead 44-43. So the Raiders scored 22 points in that quarter. Then they come out in the fourth quarter and they score 7. And the Colonels rip it for 43-68. They had 15 points. Is that my math right there?
Oh, so not, you know I flunked Math 101 a couple times. Heck, you paid for it.
Oh, that's right.
Well, the important number, we'll get away from math, and speaking of math,
that's not our strongest.
Exactly. Post-game individual statistics going to be unavailable due to those technical difficulties. I'm going to bring in a specialist tomorrow just for the stats, though, Dave, and she's a lot better looking than you, too, so that'll help things. But, yeah, math definitely not either one of our strong suits. The important number is 68-51, the Altavista Colonels, but your recap, I think, was spot on there. It was a back-and-forth game. Really up and down moments for both teams. It's just the Colonels' up moments were so much bigger than the Appomattox. Altavista's runs were so much longer and so much greater than the runs that Appomattox had, and that ends up being the difference.
Yeah. The Colonels just managed to turn it on, and the Raiders just seemed to be able to not do anything about the Colonels' scoring power.
Yeah, when Altavista was going on those runs, Appomattox really had no answer. I mean, Coach Cottrell, tried to use some well-placed timeouts in there to sort of stop the momentum, if you will, but just didn't work out tonight. 68-51. Colonels get the lead. Let's take another time out here in the Subway post-game show. We'll bring it all back, talk about Subway, recap this one a little bit more, players of the game, then talk about the Colonels' big basketball game tomorrow. Altavista with a big win over Appomattox, 68-51. You heard it all right here on 105.5 KD Country.
Tonight's game is brought to you by the Katy Country Sports Club.
Tyree Little Heating and Cooling in Gretna, keeping you cool in the summer and warm in the winter and comfortable in between.
Sharky's Pest Control. Let Tony take a bite out of your pest control needs. Doing business the old-fashioned way.
Main Street Trading Company Consignment, now open Wednesday through Friday, 11 a.m. till 6 p.m. and Saturday, 9 a.m. till 4.
El Cerrito Mexican Restaurant, Altavista. Throw on a sombrero, shake your maracas. It's El Cerrito time. Authentic Mexican cuisine only at El Cerrito.
Steve Farmer Auto Sales, where there's always a good selection of cars, trucks, SUVs, priced right, financing available. That's Steve Farmer Auto Sales, Main Street, Altavista. Man, it's cold in here. What's wrong with your heater?
Well, it used to work pretty good.
Back in the 90s, just call Select Air and get it fixed.
Oh, it'll probably cost a lot of money.
No, it won't, because Donnie will give you a fair price and get it done right the first time.
Maybe I'll call Select Air tomorrow.
No, you will call Select Air today, because it's freezing in here.
Select Air, 841-1580. 841-1580. Online at selectair.webs.com. You're listening to award-winning coverage of the Altavista Colonels on 105.5 KD Country.
Colonels get the win. Subway post-game show continues here. Subway Eat Fresh, Genuine. Everything's a $5 foot-long special. And as Dave and I mentioned, don't feel like you just have to eat subs. They got the pizza, the salads, the soup. I could go in there and just grab 6 or 7 of those cookies and be satisfied.
Well, and we don't want to overlook the catering, too, particularly with all the parties coming up, not so much this weekend for the Pro Bowl game, but the Super Bowl game is about a week away, and there'll be a lot of parties, particularly for Seattle Seahawks and the
Denver Broncos?
Denver Broncos, yeah, those guys. So,
I'm just giving you a hard time. You made me think about something, though. About the Pro Bowl, I think your point was that nobody cares about the Pro Bowl. So if you said, hey, I'm having a Pro Bowl party, nobody would come. But if you said, I'm getting catered by Subway, people might all of a sudden start liking the Pro Bowl.
Yeah, I can see some reasons. Well, that's kind of what threw me off there. I started thinking, why did I even mention the Pro Bowl?
Oh, well, I'm sure somebody's having fun watching the Pro Bowl. Who knows? And like I said, Subway can make anything fun. I imagine if you get Subway to carry your Pro Bowl party, you'll find a lot of your friends are big Pro Bowl fans all of a sudden. A lot of Colonel fans leaving here happy tonight. They saw their team get the 68-51 win. And Raiders, see, a bit of a hard-luck loser because, it was right there. They could taste it. They had the lead. I think Coach Cottrell's squad is going to work on some things. They're going to be tougher when Altavista has to go to Appomattox, that's for sure. Scheduling time now, Dave. We talked about 4 games in 5 days for the Colonels, and let's try and run them down as best we can. And, of course, as usual, all these are weather pending. There could be more old man winter out there still. There's still plenty of cold weather to come in the next few weeks.
Well, of course, next up on the schedule for the Altavista Colonels that we just mentioned is the Rustburg game tomorrow with the JV starting at 2, and then we'll be on the air with our Subway pregame show around 3:30, give or take. Those JV games go. You can't exactly predict exactly when they'll win or when they'll end, but we'll be on the air and follow with the exclusive play-by-play of the Colonels tomorrow afternoon. And then on Tuesday.
No, it is Monday.
It is Monday.
Yeah. We forgot about it ourselves. Monday is the Brookville game. That's sort of the one that threw us off a little bit. Going to be at Brookville.
Yeah.
JV start time for that one, I think, 6. So Subway pregame show 7:30, give or take, like you said.
And then that's followed by the Gretna game as Altavista goes to Gretna on Tuesday night. That JV game starts at 5:30, so about 7 o'clock or so for the varsity pregame show. And then later in the week, we've got Dan River. At Dan River, we might just as well get a hotel room
think you're right. It's going to be an interesting stretch of games. Quality opponents. I'll start with Rustburg here just very briefly. Brantley Shields always has a well-coached team up there at Rustburg. A AA, 3A, whatever they're calling it now, Division III team. Same thing with Brookville Monday. Another good team there. And then you get the two Pennsylvania County schools for the Colonels. And like you said, rent a hotel room down there. Maybe we'll split the difference, stay in Chatham there somewhere. It's going to be a tough stretch for Altavista.
Yeah, sure. And then there's a game the following Saturday.
Yeah, I think that's Rustburg again here a week from tomorrow. So if you follow all that, you really are a good fan. I mean, some of that got pretty confusing in there. I'm going to write it down. Exactly. I think we better write it down, too. Let's hit the important one again. Tomorrow, Altavista traveling to Rustburg. They'll take the short drive up 29, then hit 24, and play their old county rival, the Rustburg Red Devils there. Again, Subway pregame show around 3:30. For us, we still got to go player of the game and then mention our sponsors. I'm keeping the player game tradition alive, Dave, in honor of people like Bob Alvis and Oscar Briggs. They prefer it that way. It's the least we could do. For the Raiders, I'll go first. This is tough. I'm going to go with number 23, Chicago Ferguson, coming off the bench. And again, like I said, one of the all-time great names in high school sports, I think.
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing. Just a sentimental name with that Chicago.
Well, the weather outside, too, is a lot of Chicago.
Oh, yeah, at least. So, yeah, I could agree with you completely on the Appomattox player, Chicago Ferguson.
For the Colonels, you got some options there as well.
Yeah.
I'm going to go with Michi Malbec. You know, I liked what everybody did for Altavista, really. I liked what Malbec did. Defensively, he was a spark plug as usual. He converted all those free throws down the stretch there in the fourth quarter. And, you know, maybe that's how Altavista was able to stretch out that lead, scoring without the clock moving like they did. So I'm going to go Michi Malbec for my pick. Who you got?
Well, boy, I could do it. There's a number of people, like you say, Juan or Michi or the two Johnson brothers. But, you know, I'm going to kind of take a wild card here. There was a guy came off the bench in the first half, Walker Allen, and lit it up with some threes. Not that it just kept the momentum going, I guess, is part of why I kind of like that. The Colonels were able to loosen up the Raiders' defense with those outside shots, and he just created a spark there in that first half when the Colonels had some trouble getting going and taking over the game.
Great point right there. I love how you set it up, too. There was a guy that came off the bench. It sounded like the beginning to one of those old Westerns or something. You mentioned Walker's long-range game on the football field. Long-range game was working tonight on the basketball court as well. Great pick by you. And, of course, our real players of the game, the people we could not do it without, are our 2013 and 2014 basketball sponsors. People like Feller Chevrolet. A short drive will save you money. Online at fellersdirect.com. Of course, they sponsor our on-demand YouTube broadcast that you can check out anytime you want. El Cazo, a Mexican restaurant, the happiest place in town. English's, your complete home center, headquarters for Davis Paint. Finch and Finch Funeral Homes, family serving families since 1905. Apple Market, locations at Riverside, Gateway, and Main Street. PCM Industrial, providing maintenance, repair, and other plant services to industrial and utility clients since its inception in 1986. Tyree Little Heating and Cooling, keeping you cool in the summer, warm in the winter. Give them a call today. English Construction Company, wishing our high school athletes an exciting and injury-free game. The First National Bank, focused on providing an extraordinary customer experience. And Select Air, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, never an overtime charge. Call Donnie today, 841-1580. That'll wrap it up for us from Altavista High School. Colonels, go ahead, Dave. What
I got to say thanks to Walmart for our internet broadcast and all the fans out there listening on the internet.
I know we give all the shout-outs to people from various parts around the globe here. The least we can do is thank the people that make it possible, right?
Absolutely. Walmart on Clarion Road in Altavista, and they've been doing that for several seasons, and we thank them for that. So, but another win for the Altavista Colonels. They go 9-2 on the season.
Colonels got a tough one on tap tomorrow. Subway pregame show from Rustburg starts around 3:30. Until then, everybody stay warm and have a great evening.
The final 68-51 in favor of the Altavista Colonels on 105.5 KD Country.